What's going on, everybody? We got a absolute full house in the closet, is what my guests call it. Tonight, we were sitting with the Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association committee, I guess you want to say?
Board members.
Board members?
Sure. Yeah.
The Fab Four.
The Fab Four.
We've been trying to do this for
A few months now.
a few months. You'll get your chance here in a minute.
Sorry.
All right, you'll get your chance. But no, if you guys don't recognize his name, we did a podcast with them at the Point Moulet Waterfall Festival, and that's how I kind of got to know these guys and got to meet and talk to a lot of these guys all the way through season, and some of them became real good friends to us and just me personally. But we're just gonna go around the room here. We have four of them for those that are not tuning into our live video, which if you are tuning into it, I'm sorry we're not reading any of the comments. But yeah, you want to start off first? Kind of just tell everybody about you,
Well,
and then we'll get into
yeah,
the committee after, or the Gibraltar Duck Hunters, like what you guys are after.
sure. We'll roll through it. I'm Jamie Sapula. Been involved in the club for 20 plus years. Back when it started out, the Silly Goose.
The old silly goose.
The old Silly Goose, right? You remember that, right? If you're a local, you remember that. So,
Irving's.
huh? Before that,
Irving's bar before Silly Goose.
yeah, no, I was a Silly Gooser and did a meeting there with the guys and just been rolling it with it since then, and been involved with the first dinner since then, and kind of sucked me into it because we were taking care of the kids and
That's the biggest
getting at it.
thing.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm serving as the vice president of the club, with Tim as president and my treasurer and secretary here. So yeah, that's what I do now.
What you got?
So Mike Stepanek, I'm the secretary here. I'm actually one of the newer guys. I've only been around 2 years, 3 years, 3 years now. Yeah, two, somewhere.
Tomato.
Yeah, so I don't have as many stories as these guys have, but see what I can contribute here tonight.
That's all that matters, though. You
Yeah.
don't have to have the stories behind it, as long as you're contributing and like you said, doing it for the kids and doing it for the right reason. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely. Tim Garrett. I'm the president of the Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association. I started back at the beginning. I was living in Dallas the year it started, and moved back. And I heard these buddies started this club. They're going on a hunting trip. I'd never duck hunted in my life. They said, "All right, we're going up to the Upper Peninsula." So talked to my dad, who was an old waterfowler back through the 70s and 80s. He gave me his old Ithaca and said, "All right, good luck." So I started hunting, got involved with the club at the beginning, and
threw you out to the wolves.
just been involved ever since. That's how I got to know Jamie, as we hunt together now. And yeah, it's just been a great time helping kids, taking kids out for years and years. It's great watching the kids get their first ducks and giving them decoys and things. So yeah, it's been a great time.
What about you, Zach? Like I said, we got a full house in here tonight.
So I'm Zach, and I'm the treasurer of the club. I met Tim a few years ago out boating. We were out on, I think we were at the Cross Dykes, if I can't remember, and one of our friends said, "Hey, I got a duck hunter over here," and I had only been duck hunting like twice at that point, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. And Tim said, "Well, I'll come to one of our meetings," and then a year after I was there, he goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to become the president. We need a treasurer, so you want to
There you
become
are.
a treasurer?" And I'm like, "I guess. I mean, is there a choice here?" I mean,
I'm going to assume, and I'm just assuming here, that you're kind of buzzed up at the time, too, so you had no idea what you were even signing up
I
for.
was probably 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah, probably. Okay, makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I've enjoyed every minute of it. My wife has absolutely hated the fact that it's we meet every third Wednesday, and her plans, no matter what they are, I tell her, "Oh, I got a meeting, honey. See you later. I'll be back.
It's a good little getaway, though.
Be back around midnight or something." And she gets mad about it, but that's the way of life. So
there's a little story about how the club started.
The little getaway.
Very similar to Zach's story.
I was just saying,
So how the club
I
started.
feel like I just started something
Some
up
of the
there.
local Gibraltar guys were probably mid-20s at the time, newly married.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were having kids and stuck at home, or young wives
Right.
didn't want them to go out, so they were looking for a reason to get out and have a drink. So they started the Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association.
Really?
Restarted it, right?
Restarted. So
Their
the
parents had done that years ago.
Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association started back in the 1940s originally. And if you go to the Gibraltar Museum, the original sign is in there.
Yeah.
And it was donated to the guys years ago when, after they started the club, but they kind of restarted it. But that was a reason, was just to get out and have a couple beers at the bar, and it turned into what it is today, off of some guys who just wanted to get out and have some drinks.
I mean, it's pretty incredible just because of the fact that, all of the local hunters around here have heard about you guys. I mean, you guys do so much for our community, and I mean, everybody, I'm going to speak for everybody, can't thank you guys enough for everything that you guys do, the donations and taking the kids out hunting and introducing and just everything in general. But knowing that kind of history, I mean, I had no idea that it started that long ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that's incredible.
You can find they partnered up, I think, with Point Moulet Waterfowl Club years ago as well. I mean, it's around the same time, and I didn't know all the original members. I didn't even know if it was until the original sign was donated.
Right.
I did some research, and you could see that it went back
that it
far.
was that old. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. Because I mean, what was it? Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So for you guys, and what do you guys do? What does Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association do?
So the main thing we focus on throughout the year, our big event, is our youth hunt. During the Waterfowl Youth Weekend, we host a big barbecue. Sometimes, we host it down at the Point Moulet State Game area, the headquarters down Campo Road. Sometimes it falls during the Waterfowl Festival, which is kind of cool because it brings all the kids into the environment. They can kind of get kind of immersed
right
in waterfowling.
Right.
There's shooting games. They can see layout shooting, and it's cool to kind of get them down there. We go out and give them a bunch. This whole barbecue for them, we limit it to 50 kids because of the cost. I mean, every kid gets a dozen decoys. We go to Cabela's, and just when we have our fundraiser, we go there and just go on a shopping spree for the kids. We buy everything we want and hand it out.
It's kind of fun when you do that.
Yeah.
Buy
Every
everything
kid
you want,
walks
give it
away
to the
with
kids.
a prize from
Yes.
the table.
Well, it's like Christmas morning to
It
them.
is.
It is.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Try
they
to
all,
make it that
they
way.
all
Yeah.
get decoys, and then there's a choice out table where we give them, gun cases
BB
and
guns.
yeah.
Which means a world to any
Yes.
kid.
Yes.
We hope so. That's the point. Get them all
yeah.
fired up and come back again next year. Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
even this year for the festival wise, I got nominated, I guess you want to say, for even the duck calling competition. I had no idea what was going on for the kids and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, just get up there, do a couple flips, back flips, whatever." And I was like, "Dude, I barely can walk straight. I don't know what to do up there blowing this duck call." But just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces, I couldn't imagine what you guys are seeing on those kids' faces with taking them out and being able to give them decoys, and you don't realize how much that's doing for them kids that
Absolutely.
early.
I mean, there are some people that take out kids now that were kids when this started in our youth
Which is awesome.
that actually take kids out now.
That's
So
awesome.
And they're some of the big contributors and people that really push, what our club does.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. That's Tim and Zach. I forget who was the third person that you guys had on the podcast for during the
Well, I think
festival.
we were the only ones that talked.
We were the only ones that talked.
But we
a
had
few guys standing around.
Mark there, and Josh was also there with us.
Okay, I gotcha. And that was the first time that we actually were able to meet you guys. And, so if you guys have listened to the podcast prior, you guys have heard Tim and Zach before. And I was just kind of blown away with all the stuff that you guys do for the community and the give back. And, even our public waters around here, there's just so much stuff that you guys do. You guys kind of want to touch on the stuff that you guys do, with the cleanups or
They
donations?
do the island cleanup. That's kind of like a Point Moulet guys set that up with Wigwams. And
gotcha.
with the
downriver, the Friends of the Detroit River,
Friends of the
coordinated
Detroit River,
every year.
Okay.
They reach out to Bob Whitwam, the Point Moulet Waterfowl Festival. They reach out to us, and we partner up and clean. Everyone picks an island
Okay.
because Celeron I consider part of Gibraltar.
Yeah, for sure.
So we picked Celeron to clean up.
Yeah.
And I did find already that the date is April 27th this year.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of coordinate. I was at a special event last weekend that I don't want to talk too much about because it was questionable.
Oh, that one.
That one.
Gotcha.
But I did talk to a lot of city councilmen, the mayor of Gibraltar, and they all want to get involved in the cleanup. They were very interested in going out that morning and help clean up the island. You know, we usually will bring out, you know, garbage bags and gloves for everybody. Wear your boots, wear jeans. You walk the whole length of the island, and you know, we'll have anywhere from 10 to 20 trash bags.
It's wild how
Garbage.
much stuff collects on that island over the years.
Crazy. Throw everything everywhere.
And that's the crazy part. And like we talked about, I mean, we've been sitting here for what, almost an hour and a half before we started this podcast, just shooting the shit. But it's just like one of those things where behind the scenes things make that much of a difference. You know, that all these guys go out there to the islands or hunting or whatever it is, and it's like, man, it's pretty clean out here. Well, people are out there doing that work
Picking
for
up
that
your
reason.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go unseen by a lot of people, but you know, like the newer guys that don't know too much about what's going on, and it's I don't know, it's like I said, it's such a good thing that you guys are doing. And me personally, and like the Great Lakes crew, like we can't thank you guys enough for what you guys do.
Yeah, and one of our biggest contributors, and I'll let Jamie talk to it because he kind of head up the project on the dock down at Point Moulet.
That's what I was gonna bring up too. With
That was kind of his baby that he.
Well, yeah, I took his chair to.
So you had a baby then?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a $26,000 baby. I mean, and we were lucky that we had a couple really good dinners back to back with the with our the dinners that we were doing there. So
And then COVID hit.
yeah, with COVID, so we had like the last dinner before COVID hit, and then we had a dinner just as everything cleared up. But the anomaly was we weren't able to spend any money. Right? Because schools weren't doing anything. There was nothing to spend money on, so we just sat on it, right? So then all of a sudden we have two good dinners. So we had a good cachet there, and Point Moulet came to us like, we knew that dock down there, it's still sitting there. It's dilapidated.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Boards were falling off it. And, you know, we listen when we're down there about how bad it is, and they got to repair it, this, that, and the other. And thought, man, let's approach them and see if they'll let us replace it.
Right.
And what it'll take to do that. So there we go. Bing, bang, boom. After looking at 6 or 7 different styles of dock, you know, we put in this nice floating style dock that was
Game changer compared to what it was.
Yeah. So hopefully it's just lasts forever because there's like little to no maintenance on it.
Right.
You know, I've replaced a couple little things on there here and there, but it's what, 4 years into it, 3 years into it, and it's standing strong.
I mean, just like, obviously that's not a small thing, but when you're going duck hunting, you know, the dock is kind of like a small thing like that. You don't
really know. You don't really know that something like that got done. You think, the state just put it out there for me, you know?
But like that's kind of goes back to like behind the scenes kind of stuff that you guys are doing for the community.
That's your local club that bought that dock and hooked it up for you.
Yeah.
And you know, we get a little flack like the rails like on the one side where you back in on the way out. Then
it blocks your driver's door.
It blocks your driver's door.
People ask, can we cut the rail off? It's like, well, this is big aluminum rail, kind of expensive.
It's kind of structural now, yeah.
Well, hopefully you got a good passenger guy that can control the boat.
Exactly.
I mean, what more do you want? The driver's staying a little bit warmer in the boat or in the truck. That's all it is.
Yeah, right. The guy, your buddy's got to put the boat on the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's taking you out bird hunting in his boat, so let him stay warm.
But there's fishermen that fish solo. I get it, right?
Right.
You know, you just got to be a little conscious when you're pulling in. But, but it's been a great thing. I'm pretty proud of that. Actually, it's after all these years of being able to do something like that on our own,
right?
And just provide that for the community. I mean, like I said, Tim's a Gibraltar guy, Mike's a Gibraltar guy. I'm out in Boston, but I've been involved in this down here that long, and to me, I've hunted down here for 20 years.
Right.
I mean, I feel proud to be able to do that for the community because I've used the area. You know what I mean? I guess in a sense, I've used it. I've been here.
You want to give back a little bit.
Yeah, I've stepped on the land. You know what I mean? I've done the deal. I've worked the water down here. So to be able to give that back to the community is pretty proud of doing that. It's a big deal.
And that's kind of one of those things where, like, when me and Trav started this whole podcast stuff up, it's like, our give back of knowledge or talking to people with more knowledge than we have or just anybody about events or anything, like kind of giving, new hunters, for example, they look up YouTube videos, they'll do whatever, and people don't really talk about the exact things that they're looking for. Our give back is like just kind of teaching them the right way instead of going out there and like, I'll shoot that bird at 90 yards. I don't care. Or I'll leave all my shells on the beach. I don't care. Like it'll wash away, no problem. Like it's just kind of our way of giving back. It's not everything that we're giving back, but it's just our way of like teaching other people.
Knowledge.
And
You pass knowledge, absolutely.
Yeah. Still the knowledge that you've learned, the mistakes that you've made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes from. It's, telling people about the mistakes you've made so that maybe somebody else doesn't make that mistake. Yeah.
Exactly. And obviously waterfowl hunting is such a cutthroat thing where like some of these younger guys that we talk to, it's like, we have one kid out by us. He's out scouting now. He's getting his own fields and stuff. He's just getting like successful out there. And it's such a gratifying thing to see all the hard work and the payoff that it is becoming of it. And for him being that young, I think he's like 14 and already doing that for himself. And it's just like, man, I'm glad I was actually able to see that. And for like what you guys do is the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And for the Waterfall Festival in itself, I didn't realize how much you guys did for that until I was there. I mean, this was our first year with the booth and stuff. I mean, I've been there obviously, but I couldn't believe how much you guys were there cleaning up and helping out wherever it was
we
needed.
judged the shooting games on Sunday, the actual Duck Hunters tournament.
Yeah.
Which is how it started.
The sneak boat and everything.
They needed help with that, so we kind of stepped up and became the judges of that. And then
Somehow that evolved into starting on Friday.
started setting up.
Setting up the cupola up there to,
and now it's tear down, and it's, it's us, our whole club, and part of the Point Muley Club, and because their guys are no spring chickens,
Right.
and they've been around a long time, and they've all done it,
Right.
So it's kind of our turn to kind of step up.
So, in your guys' opinion, I mean, I'm going to assume here, you guys have been going to the festival for, many years.
I've been going my whole life. Yep.
How is there a way that we can make that festival better, in your own opinion?
That's the
It's a
million-dollar
big
question,
question.
right? Because, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
In the meetings, Jamie and I, really started going.
We
to
both sit on
meetings
the board.
last
Tim
year.
and I both sit on the
We
board
got
down there.
voted
at
in
Point
last
Muley, too.
year.
Yeah, Point
Okay.
Muley, yeah. That's the meeting tomorrow. Yeah, Tuesdays.
I think I seen you now that you say that because they were talking about the service or Wi-Fi service when I was there because Old Black actually invited me down to one of the meetings right before
Yes.
it started and was sitting there because I'm kind of new to it all, like with the groups and stuff, and I want to get involved but with how busy I am all the time, unfortunately, I'm just not able to be everywhere at once.
Right.
Um,
Yes, but the head to do with Wi-Fi, it was me. I'm an IT guy.
I remember
I've been
seeing
for
you there,
20
yeah.
plus years. They're like cavemen down there.
yeah.
If
That's your words. That's Tim's words, not anybody else's here.
they use rocks and sticks, so they needed
Wow.
someone to help with
We're gonna end this podcast. We're gonna end it right here.
But it's true, and they admit it, and I say it to their face,
Right,
and
right.
it's okay because we're all buddies. But so I helped them set up the Wi-Fi this year, set up a point of sale system for selling. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of my forte. It's easy for me to do, but so we, a little bit of everything now, getting heads down into every part of the festival.
I mean, for me wise, though, like with having a booth down there this year and going to other festivals, that September, obviously, you're dealing with a little bit of a colder temperature and stuff, but having it in season's got to be so hard, and to be able to get people to go during season, because in our opinions, like me and Traz wise, like they're going there to buy stuff for the season, and if the season's already started,
You already bought your stuff.
they already
right?
bought the stuff, so it's that,
Possibly,
and that's our
and they've talked about it back and forth, and I think they used to have it earlier at some point, and you're never going to make everyone happy, as I
correct.
think.
Yeah, correct.
I like it down there because it's not too hot,
Correct.
but here's an interesting thing about this year's festival and our youth hunt. They're on different weekends.
Yeah.
This upcoming year.
This upcoming
Oh,
year.
nice.
So the
So we get to
Waterfowl
screw up
Festival
both seasons, yeah.
is
Both weeks.
gonna be during the Deer Youth Weekend
Okay.
on the 14th, 15th. The following weekend should be the youth hunt. So we'll still have our youth hunt down at Point Muley. But we're thinking about, since we're going to get a lot more help because the Point Muley guys can now help us,
Right.
we might do something special. We're thinking maybe a trap shoot
That'd be cool.
for kids or something to really engage the kids a little more and offer a little more at the youth hunt this year because of that.
I mean, Zach, you'll be able to get in the trap shoot and probably finish last, eh?
Probably.
No, in your guys'
What are you saying?
opinion,
He's a bad shooter? You hunted
You all
with him.
saw the video.
I didn't say
It's
that.
fine.
I'm
You said
pretty
that.
sure my kid
I didn't
kicked
say
your
that.
ass at this year's when you guys
I have a video, too, of them
Okay.
shooting 4 feet behind a duck from our trip this year.
okay,
why I'm
me,
saying
me
that.
and you, Jamie, didn't say that. Those two said that. So
Yeah.
we're in the clear. Those two are screwed right now. Just saying that. Just putting that out there. But even like in your guys' opinion, even for like the youth deer season, not to get off of Zach, because I feel like we're going to pick on Zach a lot on this podcast. But yeah, it's coming. Don't worry. I seen the finger pointing at what's written on that paper. It's coming, bud. Even for the deer like the youth deer season, do you think that's kind of like it's hard to get those people that want to deer hunt and waterfall hunt kind of
I
thing?
think it's going to conflict a little. I think there's some people that probably not going to be there because of that.
Right, which is tough.
It is tough. So I don't know. I mean, they got brought up. It was a long discussion at the meeting because it's their third weekend. The problem is the first weekend of September is a split. The Sunday is the first day of September, and that's why they had to make a choice.
I gotcha.
So the festival's technically the third weekend of every month,
I gotcha.
or is it? Yeah. So it just
I'm gonna
felt
go with what
weird.
you said.
So they
Yeah,
had to,
I
so they had to
have no
make a
idea.
choice on which weekend to make it, and they chose the weekend before the waterfowl youth
I
weekend.
gotcha. And you, Jamie, Zach, you guys got any opinions on the festival?
I think it's great. You're right as far as like if it falls on another opener or another
It's tough,
youth hunt. But like I mean, man up. You hunt in the morning, you go do something in the afternoon, you go shoot pigeons, you do this, that, or the other.
Right,
It's your time of the year,
right.
Don't let that be your excuse. Like, oh, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go deer hunt
You hear that,
or
Zach?
to go for a youth
You hear
hunt.
that? No naps needed, bud.
Yeah.
No naps needed.
I went off
You
what
can
you
sleep.
Told me.
I can't even hear you. Speak in the mic, bud.
I went off of what you told me.
Yeah,
so-
I lied.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I
it's
called you,
there's
hey,
a
what are
thing.
you doing? I'm all looking for sheds. You said okay, whatever.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
not
I mean, it
even
doesn't stop
getting
me.
on
I
this again,
I get up and take my kid out
Bullshit.
hunting. We get up at
Let's gang
4 or
up
5
on
in the
Jack
morning.
and
We go out. We go hunting,
Right.
and I still go to the Waterfall Festival. I help work at the Waterfall Festival.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just man up and get out there, man.
It's part of the game.
You only
Not
live
that- it's not
once.
that hard.
You can sleep when you die.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Bingo,
because
Zach. You
At
hear
some
that?
point, you're going to sleep forever. Don't do it now.
That just got really deep.
I've lived on that, man. I've lived on that. I swear to God.
No,
Don't let the old man in. Right?
Yeah, I'm here.
there was another question though that even for when I met you guys at the festival, I mean we didn't know each other from Eve or anything. The welcoming in the hospitality that you guys gave me and Trav and stuff. I mean that obviously even just goes a long way in that self. But you guys invited me to a duck hunt up north, which I won't say the word that you guys said it was. But
Where?
the hunt up north, I won't
You want to say
name
where?
It was the joke name we called it.
the joke name. I'm not gonna say that
Yeah.
unless you guys do, but I'm not gonna say that. How did that go this year?
It was okay, really. As far as birds go themselves, I mean, everybody I think had the same issue down here where it was really warm.
It was tough this year.
And duck fires pushing the birds down. I think you had a pretty good goose season, right? Your goose
It was-
decent, right. It's not like you killed some. I mean, I've seen piles, man. You did good,
It was.
but you work hard for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like there are a lot of these guys, like even on the water, if you're not working on scouting or like we talked about before the podcast, being different or doing different things or out there every day checking spots out, like it's hard to be super successful on a year like we had this year. I mean, it was
Got to work.
what, 50 degrees this weekend, 60 degrees this weekend. And, it's just been such an up and down year this year where the push didn't really happen until the year was over, basically.
Right.
And
so on our Sea Wing trip, it seemed like the guys that were really bringing a lot in were 8 miles out
Yeah, they were
into the
way-
bay. I mean,
way
they were
right.
out on the horizon. We didn't have a boat for that.
I heard you got an amazing boat though,
It's an amazing boat, duck tank. Yes, it is
The duck
amazing.
tank, yeah.
and
Yes.
even the cover for that. I mean, it looks like a rock wall almost. I mean, it looks
That's
pretty
exactly
sweet.
what it is. Yeah,
We
yeah.
developed a pretty good system.
It's,
it works out
it's,
really
it's
well.
in process. When we consider we've had it a year and a half now. It's 2 years maybe.
Yeah, this
it's
year was
working
a
out.
new motor because we run into the season this year with the 40 that was on it was dead. We blew it last year. We didn't even know it. So we took it down to, where did we take it to?
Lockman's.
Lockman.
Okay.
So
Detroit.
yeah, Lockman's, they're good dudes.
Top, yeah.
Yeah. So we went, I rolled it in there and they were like, it's garbage. It's garbage. They're like, don't even try and resurrect it. It's not worth it.
I'd
It's
hate
just-
to put my motor there right now then too.
Yeah, it was bummer. And then we hooked up with a dude. Where did we get the motor from?
Josh Modulewski.
Josh Modulewski. So we hooked up with a 70 for it. So we,
Oh wow!
yeah, it turned the boat upside down. It was
Great.
great.
Say you're just
Yeah.
riding that wheel
Stood up on end,
you
yeah.
see on
It
Facebook
holds
all
it
the
well. I
time.
mean,
It gets it going.
4 guys in it,
guys
fully
and a
loaded,
bunch of
36,
shit.
37 miles an hour. So it
Holy
does well.
smokes.
I don't think it's not overrated. I mean, it's an 18-foot aluminum.
That's
But
good,
it,
Yeah.
but it eats some fuel.
It eats
We
fuel.
learned that
Definitely
one on our
eats
duck
fuel.
trip.
We found that out the hard way.
So to go back to Seaboing, we're up there, and we get out there. We're it's
We're
it's
shooting
a
ducks. We
run.
were shooting ducks.
So,
Yeah.
so not to cut you off, what is Cebu like? What is like? Is it like the Gibraltar Duck Hunters like group going up there? Like kind of
Anybody in the club that kind of had the time or wanted to go,
right?
we got together and we went up there. We rented this
Just a guy's
hotel,
trip.
motel, yeah, the club
Okay.
trip,
The
right?
airport motel up
Yeah.
in Seaboing.
Okay.
So anybody that wanted to come up there and hang out, just let's go. It's a
Let's
weekend
hang
hunt
out.
for the
Right.
club, right? So
Right.
and then once we got there, we kind of we spread out.
Right.
If we had 4 guys, we had 4 different parties out there hunting at one time.
That's just a fun time though. Like a duck.
It was
camp.
good. Then you
Always
get
good.
back, you get back at night, have a
Tell
couple
the
cocktails,
stories.
talk about what happened, how it
Make
went.
fun of Zach a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
right.
100%.
But no, the
What
gas.
happened?
The gas though.
Well, so we go out in the morning. We showed up Thursday night, settle in. We took a little
Friday.
cruise, look around.
Morning.
Well, Thursday night we got there. The Friday morning hunt.
Well, we got up there. Me and Tim got up there Thursday morning, and then we went out about the evening to do some scouting. I went back in to get Mike. We went back out to shoot some more, and then Friday morning we went out, shot some ducks, did a lot of chasing on divers. Went to come in, nobody filled the gas tank the night before.
No, we were full. We
Oh.
burned it up.
You guys filled it back up. I was
Yeah, it
told
was
you guys
full.
didn't fill it back
No, it
up
was
after
full.
we went back out. Or
No,
when we
no.
went out that
No, they
evening.
just told us they didn't because they didn't want to say how much
Sounded
gas they
better.
really
It was
burned that
full.
It
day.
sounded better.
We just ate that much fuel.
Well, we had to call somebody to come get us, and we were about 6 miles
Holy
From the dock, yeah.
from the boat launch, and we sat there for an hour, 2 hours.
It was a great time.
Oh, it was
Sounds fun.
It was hysterical. I mean, we were just laughing, having a great time, and just made a positive moment out of a shitty situation.
So Zach, the guy that comes pulling up, right? So I don't even know what you did, but he's got this, he pulls up, and when the guy pulls up, he's got it on his phone, Instagram or whatever,
Yeah.
and it turns him into Batman. So Batman rescues us with a 5-gallon gas can of fuel.
Thanks, Rick.
Rick, yeah. Rick pulls up, and he's Batman saving us.
We call Rick. We knew he was coming up that day, and he said, "Hey, where are you?" I goes, "I'm 10 minutes from there." I said, "Good. We need you to launch your boat now."
yeah.
Should have been wearing a cape out
Yes,
there, I guess.
Yes.
Luckily, we had a full gas can sitting there ready to go, so he grabbed that and came out and saved us. So
Yeah.
it happens. But that was our best day. Go back to how the trip went. We had a decent day. We had 8 or 9 birds, which is actually the best we did all weekend. It was always 2 or 3 or 4 the rest of the hunts. It was
Right.
just slow. It was too warm. We were sitting out. It was really warm.
And usually, like that area, I feel like that time of year that you guys went is usually pretty hot. I feel like
It's high. We've
we've had some great
Jamie and I have
hunts
gone
out
out there and had a limit of bluebills and redheads in 2 hours and
Right.
and I mean, we've done it many times, and there's times where you're not getting anything. So
Right. It's hunting.
Right. You got to find them when the birds are coming flying
Right.
through. So
yeah, I mean that was the biggest thing this year. I mean, for example, Saturday morning when I took Zach out, I mean there's 200-300 birds out in the field the day before, and we didn't shoot a thing that day. It's hunting. But to be able to surround yourself with the guys, whatever, having a guy's trip, just be able to get out there and, like I said before, have that little getaway from life in itself, I guess. I mean,
and that's why I like the waterfowl hunting. You know, I started deer hunting a little bit last couple of years, but when it's slow deer hunting, you're sitting by yourself,
right,
up in a tree or in a blind. At least when you're not shooting anything, you're out with your buddies shooting the shit,
right?
You know, and
we have some of the best times.
Yeah,
sitting in the boat talking about each other.
Or is it talking about Zach?
We're talking about Zach.
Zach. Each other.
Okay. And even like when I got our dogs, even though, I mean, that's a whole different thing in itself too. Like, you got the dogs out there, the dogs running around, playing around, like, you know, it's a slow day or whatever. If you're mad about that, I guess you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Absolutely.
I find so many guys that I talk to and hear through the grapevine that, you know, whether they're just going for the bands or just the pile pictures or just like I'm going to try to hunt with this group this year just because they shoot a lot of birds this year. And it's like, dude, you're just not doing it for the right reason.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Tim and I, we've never been that way. We've had great days.
Right.
So many days that are just horrible.
Like getting out.
Couple birds here and there. I mean, nowadays with the bluebills early season, you get one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, and then you get two. I mean, even at two, if you can't get a limit of, when that's all you're seeing,
right?
You know, out on Lake Erie out here in front of the Metro Park, down by the, you know, the Banana Dike.
Right.
And that's all you're seeing, and then you get a Buffy here and there.
Do you think they're going to up that limit?
Who knows?
Because I heard they were up in the pintail limit, like in some.
Okay, I see
I can tell you, I've never shot a pintail here.
But just
I've seen them.
I got one. And yeah, Point Moulet. I got one in Point Moulet.
Just in general, though, I mean, like for how many years there was only one pintail per hunt.
Yeah.
And with all the bluebills we've seen, or you guys have seen in the last 2 years, I mean, the numbers are obviously going up. It seems like anyway.
Maybe this year with them not coming down.
I think this
early,
it's going to be a good hatch, in my
opinion.
So,
yeah, so you got this year where the birds didn't come down. They didn't get shot up.
Canada like, hardly ever froze.
Yeah, they just stayed up north and bred.
Right.
They'll hang out there. Maybe the next year they'll go back and have another good breeding season.
Yeah.
They had a big problem with, well, I don't know if the fires really messed with them too much.
I brought that up too.
But
honestly.
they were in a big drought, right?
Yeah.
Like we would do the Saskatchewan trip the last several years, and they've been in a big drought on that side.
Yep.
So that affects all that breeding season, right? So hopefully they have a good breeding season and come down here and maybe get some birds.
We had the farmer actually, he was like, man, like this is the least amount of birds I've ever seen out in this area. Like, what is going on? And it's like, I don't know if it's, like my opinion was the fires, honestly, with like, because birds, from my knowledge anyway, not saying I'm some crazy bird guy, but they don't like smoke. They'll leave, or if they're burning nest up at that time of year, whatever it may be. And obviously the open water in Canada doesn't help at all.
They had no reason to leave, right?
And even when we were froze down here after season, they were still open up north. So even like the ice fishermen this year, like it was just horrible.
They had their week.
Yeah,
Right.
a couple days. I mean, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. How much? I mean, did you guys hunt a lot down this way this year or no?
That's most of our hunting is down this way.
Yeah.
I mean, the one really good day down here was the day the fog rolled in.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of a slow morning. Fog rolled in.
Oh, I still got out there.
Well, we did too. We were on the dike.
That was for me.
We could see 20, 30 yards tops. We could, barely see the end of our decoys. And as soon as it started lifting, they just bombarded us. And we finished out our 2-man limit and pretty quick. And then as soon as we got our last one, a group of 30 bluebills flew right overhead into our decoys and circled our heads.
Hung out. Yeah.
Right after we hit the limit. So, I mean, it was just one of those days. That was a good day.
Yeah, you wish you had 3 more guys in the boat.
Exactly. We could have gotten an easy 3-4-man limit that day.
That's the hardest part about all that stuff, too. Like a day that you don't suspect anything that like to happen at all, and then you're like, man, I wish we had 5 more guys out there, or whatever it may have been.
Right.
Like I wish we were able to rotate some guys in and out or whatever. Are you guys doing any layout boat hunting out there or no? Just out of the boat?
We haven't in a couple years. I still think we should. It kind of puts you in spots you're not going to hunt with our boat. It hides a little better.
We're getting too old. I mean, we kind of the duck tank came up because we're just like, this I'll tell you what, if you had as many sketchy moments in a layout boat as I
never been
have
in
or
one.
Tim has, I'm telling you what. So a normal hunt is easy, right? You go out
Right.
there, somebody flops you in this thing. Mike had his first one this
I had my
year.
first layout hunt this year.
So, and he got thrown in a layout. The guy drives off 200-300 yards, and Mike's sitting there all by himself, right? And he's like,
Right.
oh my God, here I am. You know, I'm
Out
in
middle of
I'm in this little
we had some
pod.
pretty good rollers going too. So I radio the gap. I'm like, hey, how big of waves can this handle?
Right. Right.
Because I'm just watching them
You're
roll over
questioning
the
yourself.
backside.
You can't go anywhere,
You can't go
obviously.
anywhere. I'm stuck. I'm anchored. I ain't no motor, no paddles. You're not
Right.
going anywhere. So it's like, all right, man, how big of rollers can this handle? He goes, well, if they're not crashing over the top, you're good. All right, I'm fine.
Man, I don't know. Because I've never been in one personally. I've always wanted to just to experience it,
It
because
is.
I've
It is a
heard.
cool experience. It was my first year
Yeah.
doing it. I got to get a couple of ducks out of it, and it's definitely
He did
something you
that
gotta
at the
try.
Seaboing trip. You did,
Yeah.
one of the
Oh,
guys
okay.
brought a layout in the Seaboing trip.
So one of the things, we talked to some of the other guys that we know, talked about maybe next year doing a base and setting up, like 4 or 5 spreads, layout spreads, and we'll all, maybe use one of those big old duck boats around here that
Down here in Lake Erie doing
Yeah.
it here. right?
just set up a whole bunch and use it like a base, like we used to. We had, Jamie had a partner with a guy with one of those old River Queens, solid steel,
Heated
you know.
in the inside and everything.
Oh,
The
yeah.
whole deal.
Yeah.
When I started this thing, that was Mark Wickham, buddy of mine, got me into it, and him and his cousin bought this boat, 40-foot River Queen, and so
40 foot.
40-foot River Queen. It's still on the river.
It's called the Duck Destroyer now.
Yeah, it's over here in
Oh,
Grosse
okay. I've
Ile.
seen it. I've
That
seen
was his
tan
boat.
one.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
hunted with Jimmy Gretzinger on that several years ago.
Wow.
From
Yeah, it's on Michigan Out of
Doors.
Doors. You can still
Oh,
look
we
it up.
talked about that.
I did, yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that you say that, yeah, we've
Yeah.
talked about it at the podcast at the
Yeah, that was the
festival.
boat, and we've had some great. That's when I started layout hunting. Is out of that boat.
Wow.
Yes.
It was a good time. So he got me into it then with his cousin. It was like 3 or 4 of us, dealing with this, this massive boat and everything that goes along with it.
Right.
It got to be a lot. Then, things evolved and his cousin dropped out and the other guy dropped out and it was me and Mark. And so that thing went to the wayside. And, he's got another one now that he's trying to put together that's with twins in it. So, it's just, just handle the water better and get you around a little faster.
Hoping maybe he did talk about having it done for next year. I mean, we'll
That'd be
see.
sweet.
I think he says it every
He
year.
does say that every year, but he's had some.
He's that guy.
He's
but
had some life changes that may allow
some
it a
year,
little more.
some year it might be on the water. It's still a thing.
It's easy to say that, but doing that is a whole
Right.
different thing,
but that experience is cool, right? So, Duck Factory, if I'm not mistaken, might be one of the originators of that. Like the
Kind of
mothership,
style.
the
Yeah.
mothership hunt, right? Where you had the chase boat. You sit out there, you make breakfast, you eat, you play euchre with the boys,
Right.
and just wait, for, see if the ducks happen, and just hunt all day, rotate guys in and out of the.
You're having a
thing.
good time the whole time.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Right.
It's an amazing hunt when you get out and do something like that. So that guy's doing it as long as he's done it is, it's a feat.
Is he guiding out of that or no?
Not really. I don't
Is
think he
he just
actually
buddy
guides.
hunts?
No,
No,
he's just got
it's
guys
buddies.
that go out. Yeah.
Just people they know.
And
Yeah.
so speaking of like the guiding wise, when we talked a little bit about it too, about like you guys taking the youth hunters out there, you guys want to kind of speak on like the guiding compared to like taking hunters out there? Because I think, like I said, I told everybody that you were guiding youth out there at the festival. I was mistaken. And like I said, we talked about it before the podcast. I mean, you guys were doing all
it
this
started
stuff.
that way. We used to put a post on the MyHack, some Michigan. I think it was through the MUCC youth program. We would actually do a post, and we actually would guide.
Okay.
We would kids would drive from around the state. We'd drive across the state, and we'd meet at the Gibraltar Community Center at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Meet up with your kid, and they'd have to have a guardian with them. We'd take them out.
Yeah, I still have shirts that say no boat, no decoys, no problem.
Yes.
We got you. We'll take you out.
I would need about 20 phone calls to wake me up that early. In the
So
morning.
that's how it
Right now.
started, and we had insurance, and we talked to a lawyer about it, and just the liability and the cost. We decided, we're not going to guide anymore. I mean, if you know some kid, you can take them out. That's great.
Right.
We leave it up to a parent or guardian.
Even
to
a field
arrange it
hunt.
now.
So this coming year, You get some youth, right? Get them
Right.
on the field hunt because that's your gig, right?
Right.
Do that.
Right.
Take a kid out. And then afterwards, you come see us around 10, 11 o'clock, get back down here. And then, you could join our luncheon.
We'll have to figure something out. Because the one meeting that I came to, and I think I only knew Zach really and Tim. I don't think I really knew anybody else. I brought up pigeon hunting and taking kids out there and stuff. Because we brought out some kids this year, and I'll tell you what, they're so gun-ho even just over pigeons. It's just something to get them out
That sounds
there.
like a good time, actually.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, they decoy better than ducks do. I'm telling you that it's...
Actually put decoys out for pigeons?
Yeah. So I call me crazy.
Don't they make a mojo pigeon?
Oh, yeah, they do pigeon mojo.
Yeah. I was going to say, I swear I saw one.
I have two.
Yeah.
I have to.
So, yeah, I have silhouettes, mojos. I got the flock flickers. Yeah, we go all out.
Really?
But it's so fun because, there's no brushing in. You don't got to worry about nothing. You shoot them, and they'll fly right back around. They'll decoy
that's
again.
Stand by somebody's
it's-
silo and just bang away, right?
Well, most of the time when we pigeon hunt, we'll just jump shoot them off the silos. Yeah, but when the wheat comes off, August, September time, we've had pigeon hunts where we shot over 100 pigeons.
Wow.
So
We need an adult hunt. Let's plan that.
Yeah.
and I was going to say that too. I feel bad for not taking any of you guys out because even that first meeting, I talked about taking you guys out bird hunting, but Zach wanted to just take it off for himself this year and not invite anybody else out. And, I guess I don't feel bad, but Zach, I'll put it on him for that. Don't look at me that way.
Throw fucking hands out.
So, actually, speaking of youth hunts, so at one of our last meetings here on Retriever Club
No, they got a great one going.
came to our dinner, and they do a youth pheasant hunt
That'd be fun.
that's coming up a
pretty
week
cool.
after our wild game dinner. They're looking for donations. They don't have any banquets to make money, so their whole event's 100% funded.
Wow.
They don't have they don't bring the money like we do. They don't have a big event, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And they do the same kind of thing. They give all the kids prizes. They limit it to 30 kids, I believe.
Yeah, they're 30 kids, and they do a field hunt. They do a European style.
European tower hunt, and then hunt the fields.
and then hunt the
afterwards.
fields after. And then,
Got the dog.
And they run all their
Yeah.
dogs. And
In reality, though, too, even if they had 5 kids, it's still amazing.
absolutely.
Thing to
No,
do.
it's great.
No,
That's what I mean.
they're-
It's great.
I think they're in their 8th year,
That's
running at about
yes.
30 kids.
Awesome.
Yeah, the HRC, they're doing it. That's a pretty
So
cool
we
deal.
donated money to help with them. We didn't know about it, and they heard about us. They showed up at our meeting to ask, and that's the kind of thing. That's exactly what we want to do is promote
Right.
the youth out, getting them off their computers, off their Xboxes and PlayStations, and get them out in the outside.
Well, because let's face it though, too. With YouTube and social media, with Instagram and Snapchat or whatever it may be, they're seeing all these pile pictures and just the wrong, like we talked about earlier, the wrong way of doing everything, and it's just putting a bad impression in their head to start off with. They're not taking it as the getaway or the hangout area. They're just they want the pile pictures, they want the
Right,
bands, they want
right.
whatever it may
They don't want to
be.
earn it. Because
Yeah,
we're
it's just
paying our dues. We still paying them. you know?
it's I don't know. It's like I said before, it's an amazing thing that you guys are doing, whether it's 5 or 100 kids,
Yep.
especially with the decoys and all of that stuff. But I don't know. Was your guys' hunting season pretty good this year? Tough kind of with
It was tough.
Slow.
It was
I say
slow.
slow like everybody else.
I've had worse. I've had better.
Yeah, mediocre at best. Yeah.
The warm
I could call it that.
Screwed everybody.
yeah. That's what I felt like too. It was just it was 80 degrees pretty much all
Yeah.
October. It
Yeah.
seemed like it was
Deer hunting, I
horrible.
was in a t-shirt and almost shorts.
Yeah, and leaving the stand before dark,
Yeah.
and that's when your buck showed up.
Well, the opener down here was 30-mile-an-hour winds blowing out the water. It was
higher than that.
It was ripping,
well, for you
raining.
guys, I was dealing with 50-mile-an-hour winds on my opening morning. That was
Yeah, go ahead,
miserable.
tell that story.
That's the stupidest story ever. Run that. Run
Okay,
that.
okay.
This
yeah,
is
say it,
epic.
and I'll
It's
say this.
epic.
I'll say exactly what we said in the blind on Saturday with Zach. But go
What,
ahead.
you,
Say it.
you would. This is the absolute wrong thing to do. Ever.
How many red flags can you have during a hunt until you just say, "Screw you guys, I'm going home"?
No, and then stay. And then stay. Be just soaking wet and stay. He did it.
I did what the duck
He
hunters do.
toughed it out.
I
right?
toughed it out, and I
yeah.
sat there. I sat there until about 8:30. So it started out the night before Friday. I went out and got my boat, met out with a buddy. I went out in a 14-foot flat bottom rowboat with an engine that Tim here gave me. Well, I bought, and it wasn't up to snuff, to say the least. So I had engine issues. That should have been the first red flag.
You're
The
supposed to
weather
fix
was
that.
also shitty. Finally get out to the spot.
It's the best part of the show.
It sounds like he's blaming you for his bad luck out there, Tim.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you should have heard him talking when Tim wasn't around.
Yeah. This motherfucker over here, No, it was just one bad thing after another. I finally get out to my spot. I meet up with one of our friends, and I take my oar, stick it over the side of the boat. My oar goes down about 1.5 feet. I go, oh, it's good enough. I should be able to stand. Jump right off the side of the boat, head underwater. Waders fill up. I get out, dump the waders out. Now my boat's got water in it. I'm soaking wet, and it's like 6 p.m. on Friday, and I'm like, shooting lights in like 15 hours. And so I finally get everything situated. I can't get the engine started. I'm stuck in like 3 to 4 foot rollers in this, tiny ass rowboat. My buddy is laughing his ass off. He's watching this whole thing unfold. He's sitting in his boat. He can't set anything up. He's just laughing. I finally get the engine started long enough. Jesus Christ.
I can't wait for that one. You're
So-
screwed, but I'm sorry. But
so
you're
it's-
not looking good on this podcast.
No, it's not. This is how every hunt goes. This is how every meeting goes. They just, morning comes, and it's just a shit show. My boat caught on fire at one point.
I did not hear that one.
Oh, I told you about that.
Oh, this is in his makeshift shack.
Yeah, I took PVC.
bed.
Oh, the tarp, the tarp.
PVC
Yeah, yeah.
tarp
caught on
thing,
fire.
and then you had this
tarp
heater.
caught on fire. Put a big hole in the tarp. I got out, put duct tape on it, crawled back into it, and it just buckets of water, just downpouring.
But that wasn't his fault, right?
No, that one was 100% my fault.
Well, when you bring duct tape, you already predicted you were going to be
Needing
a problem.
Yeah, I already knew. Well, that duct tape's always in the bin. You never know. Even boating in general, my boat in the summertime has duct tape on it. You never know when
That
you would need
explains
it.
why your wife is uncomfortable with you driving a boat.
You know what? They don't know shit.
Hey, honey, plug that hole again. They say the duct tape's peeling up.
Stick your finger in that hole, plug it. But no,
Whoa.
You'll say that when
Whoa. Whoa.
The boat or your wife?
I ain't gonna alliterate on that one.
We were talking about duct tape going over the hole. Not a finger.
well,
Jesus Christ.
Christ, guys.
PG here, all
See,
right?
this is why Zach doesn't want us to be here anymore.
Good Lord.
You wonder why I didn't invite them to go hunting? Here you go.
Jesus.
It's the best time of your life.
Well, we're sitting out there, and he's telling us a story on Saturday, and it's like, dude, you've literally had every red flag known to man, not manned. Doing it all for buddies that don't want to go out there and hunt and spend the night out there, because like when I first started waterfowl hunting, that was like the day to go. You go out there all night, you have a good time out there on the water, you have a fire out there, whatever it may be. We order a pizza, hang out, drink some beers, whatever it may be, and you're out there by yourself and have all that bad luck. And it's like,
And I stayed.
I'd be like, screw you guys, I'm going home, I'm getting dry. Forget it. If you guys don't want to
in
spend
20
the time,
years, you're going home.
Oh, you're right. In
2
20
years he's going home.
it just
20
But-
years.
Well, we got you by 20 years, and we're still doing it overnight.
Oh, overnight, like I miss it so much where I almost want to do like an overnight trip, opening day in the fields, just to be out there, like that tradition of being out there.
Dude, how hard would it be to sleep in a layout blind all day long?
You know,
I do it on a bad day anyway.
Well, I hate,
No birds, I'm sleeping.
hate layout blinds. Hate them with the pack.
Really?
Silhouettes and layout blinds, can't stand them.
Silhouettes and layout blinds.
Hate them.
Really?
What do you hunt on?
Sold all of it.
A-frames.
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 Solid A-frames. I don't care what's going on. A-frames all the way.
All right.
I think
I believe it.
I think the A-frames, you got a better, and my thought process is we'll throw out 4 A-frames and make more of like a ditch line or just a grass line in a field compared to like just blocks in a field. Because if you look at it at a bird's angle, it's literally just blocks of grass. I mean, you really can't brush in layout blinds, in my opinion, well enough to just make it look like
Flat.
nothing there.
Just ain't happening.
You can't do it. A-frames, if you put 4 together, I don't care if you're hunting with 6 guys, if you put 4 together, it looks like a natural line.
Yeah.
You throw one
Like a
A-frame.
brush line or something like
right.
that. Yeah.
You throw one A-frame in a field, you're sticking out like a sore thumb because it's one blocky bush out there.
Yep.
Unless you have like a good tree line or like a drain out in the middle of the field where the farmer's got to go around it or whatever it may be, that's different. But if you have a longer blind, it looks just natural out there. You know,
I believe it because
It's kind of what we do with Saskatchewan.
the Saskatchewan hunt. Yeah, these guys do a willow blind. It's like
they put the pecker poles in the front,
15
and stuff.
feet long. Well, they go to this swamp area and cut all these willows, which are basically like saplings.
You
Or
got
like,
a whole island out there almost.
yeah, they just
Right.
plug them in on the outside of this thing. They got it all set up. You just plug all these short ones in the front of you, big long ones in the back, cover up the back of this thing.
Yeah.
It's a homemade bed frame.
Yeah.
That's adjustable.
Yeah, they use the bed
different
frame,
length,
right? The bed frame on the
and a
sides.
conveyor belt
Yeah.
that wraps around you. I mean, it's all homemade, and I mean, it's a little bit setting up, but it works.
I mean, luckily enough, we have like the permanent blinds out there where we weren't able to hunt them as much. One of the fields we hunted it a lot September because it was a wheat field and the farmer was January. I can't even speak right now, but he was nice enough.
J-Mo.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna piss the bed. He was able to cut the field like 3 times for us. So we got too tall. He's like, "Hey, you want me to go cut that for you guys again?" I'm like, if you're feeling bored and want to do something, yeah, like it would help us out a lot." So like he was able to cut the wheat down where it looked like just a giant grass field and helped out like tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you have a permanent blind out there, obviously like you can have it bare as you want because the birds are used to it, you know. But if you're just sticking out something out in the middle of the field where the birds have been there every day, they know everything that's going on. It's like a deer. You throw a tree stand up, they're gonna know something. You throw
Different.
a random
Something's
chair in your
different,
living
yeah.
room,
For sure.
you know, they're gonna pick you out, you know. And like I said, my biggest thing while hunting is just being different from everybody else. I don't know. And then silhouettes, I don't trust them. I don't have any confidence in them. I hunted over them twice this year. One hunt was a good year, but one hunt was a good hunt, and we mixed full bodies in the middle of them. The other hunt, it was.
Did you use only full bodies, or do you use socks? Or
Personally, I use just only full bodies.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
S6 decoys is what we use. It's just full bodies, but we have, the 4-wheeler running stuff out there. We don't have to walk anything in or anything.
We didn't have a 4-wheeler when I went.
What day?
Both days.
We didn't need one. It was a 10-minute. It was a
That's not the
10-foot
point.
walk.
That's not the
It
point.
was a 10-foot walk. What do you mean to
could've
carry
just
you
loaded
to
them
your
all up at
blind?
one time.
You sat in the dark while your blind was burning, while you were soaked in water, and you're complaining about a 10-foot walk out of your truck?
Yeah. I wanted the full
Millennials.
Fucking millennials.
I'm telling them.
Says the youngest guy. You're right.
He's the same age.
Yeah, but you're the one complaining.
The struggles.
I can't say this word, but I would drop the hard R on you right here.
Oh, I know.
Are you I mean, 10-foot walk. I mean, Jesus criminy.
I had a good time both times.
Good Lord. But yeah, that's all we use. A-frames, full bodies. And like I said, maybe it was before the podcast, our best hunt was 5 or 6 full bodies in the field. And that's it. The more realistic, there's no like J shape for us. There's no whatever.
Just random,
shape. Yeah,
right?
I throw like the family groups in with the little pockets that come in, and everybody makes fun of me because I'm so crazy about my decoys. Everybody wants to bring decoys out and set them out. And it's like, I guarantee you I'm going to pick and choose what decoys you set out compared to what I set out, because that goose right there is going to be looking at me weird all morning. And I'm going to have to turn that goose 360 just so it looks the right way. But, I mean, I'll throw decoys out 100 yards out in the field, and they're like, what if they land out there? And it's like, trust me, they're not going to land out there. Like, it's just that way they're not focusing more.
It's our crumb line.
The crumb line,
we
yeah.
do.
We call it the crumb line on the lake.
It's one of those things where,
Yep.
which I'm not, knowledgeable at all on the water, but I'll throw a little sprinkle way out there, and the main group is where all the food's at, right? So
Yes.
the birds are coming into the food, and they're coming into the call.
Exactly. We call it a crumb line. Right? So outside of our spread, we drop them, I don't know, what is it, 30, 40 yards out?
Every 30 yards.
Right.
When we tell them,
20,
they
30 yards,
turn and
drop the
follow
bird.
it in. They see it, they turn, they see the big spread, and they come in.
And the thing is with
And it
that
works.
too, both of them wise, they're not focusing in on one spot. Like if you only have your birds 40 yards out from blind, like each side of the blind, or we'll even go 20 yards from your right side of your blind to your left side of your blind, they're kind of pinpointing like exactly where you're set up, because most of the time you're set up right in the middle of that, right?
Right.
So if you spread that out big time on both sides, or say your big pocket is 30 yards to your right, half the time for geese they're going to shortstop you. But if you're set up to like right in the middle of that, or 30 yards from that big pocket, they're going to be right in your face. But those birds that are 100 yards away from you, their eyes are going back and forth the entire time looking for that bigger group and dumping where they think. They're not focusing you. They don't have enough time to like react to that crazy looking thing.
Right. Too late. They're on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's the hope, right? They're on you. Too late.
Like I said, I'm just so anal about like that small detailed stuff. And, in my opinion, I think that's why we're successful a lot of the times. I mean, we hunted that water hole that I showed you the picture and the videos of today, or earlier. I don't know, probably close to 10 times this year. Every single hunt we did, we had a different spread in there. Whether it be all geese, whether it be all ducks, whether it be spinners, no spinners, or whatever it is, but just something different instead of seeing the same thing. Because even that band that I shot at the end of the year, it was a Lansing bird. So that right there tells you the migration really didn't move that much. So those birds we were probably shooting at multiple times. So let's show them something different every single time we go out there. I mean, we'll throw 4 spinners out there, we'll throw no spinners out there, whatever it may be. It's all about being different with it all.
Yeah, again, because your local birds, they're not moving. So
Right,
show them
exactly.
something different.
Right. And that's
Sure.
my rant for the
Yep.
night.
Makes sense.
But then there's us who's hunting out of Lake Erie where we're throwing the same 60 birds out kind of the same way.
We've changed it up a few times.
Just
we
a little
we
bit.
probably do a spread now that nobody would do. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
We
What's
set
that?
up 2 pockets. We set up, lines because we're in a boat and we're all facing it off the side of the boat. We throw up 4 lines horizontal to us with a little runway close to us, and then a line out each side at a 45-degree angle to create 2 different pockets.
Okay.
So
Because the divers don't seem to care where they're coming in from.
They almost
right?
look like they'll
land into the wind, they'll land with the
We throw
wind.
the flicker flockers up in the middle. We put a floating mojo off to the side in one of the pockets. Throw some buffies in the other one, and
How many mojos you guys running on a diver spread?
Just one.
One.
Yeah.
One.
Well, floaters are tough. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
we've gone through a few.
Depending on waves.
We've had several, but we have one left.
They always end up upside down, and the next year they don't work.
Have you guys thought about those like little flickers
have
that
them.
float?
We got 'em,
that
yeah.
So
float?
the original ones that came out, we
Killed it.
Jamie and I and his brother bought a dozen.
Jesus
Dozen.
Christ.
We killed a dozen.
We bought a dozen of them, and every couple of years, a couple of them died, and they're finally all dead. So the
Really?
new ones came out.
Okay.
So we bought 4 of those. We're trying them
Okay.
because we
So
like
you
they
got
work.
the new ones now with the domes on them.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean they work. We know they work. I mean we
Yeah.
put them out, and I mean it brings ducks in. It's just the other ones didn't last.
I got them for the pigeons and stuff. I always wanted to try them for like the dry field mallards and stuff, but just haven't really had like
We clip them onto our long lines out in the lake, and they flip, and they
that. I mean, that I could really see with like the diver, especially further out birds
Yep.
and seeing that flash.
yes.
I just get skeptical about the mallards in the field just because of,
They don't like it as much, right?
I don't. It's hard to say.
I'd
I mean,
try it.
I want to.
It's motion. I mean, that's really what
What's
it
gonna hurt?
is.
Try it, see if it works. If it
Well, it's
doesn't,
going to hurt the geese flying in. That's the problem.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
because
and-
you don't. Yeah, right. You don't want the
That's-
motion with the goose.
They're
Yeah.
They're not on remote.
There's no remote.
Right. So, I mean, and then those birds out there, they're not pressured like Erie birds,
Right.
where every corner they're getting shot at from however far out. I mean, you know, those birds that we seen Saturday, you said there was a couple of flocks that, you know, we could have shot at, and it's like, no, they're a little far out. You know what I mean? It was just like, I want my birds touching.
Sky busting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
one of those things where it's
all
just,
day long. I don't give a shit.
all right, we're done.
Did he sky bus with you?
No, we didn't shoot the gun once.
Oh no.
Yeah, we didn't shoot the gun once. And it sucks because, I mean, we've seen that amount of birds, but, like,
We saw a
Goes
lot of
back
birds on
to-
Saturday.
you know, it's hunting.
It is hunting.
It is what it is. I'm going to take a quick pee break.
That's a good idea.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we're back. We're back. We just got done making fun of Zach even some more. Off camera, though.
Not difficult.
No, it's not. It's not
Easy
alive.
target.
Yeah, super easy. Should have seen him Saturday. It's horrible. No. What were we talking about? Just different spreads and stuff like that. We were talking even earlier before you got here. A coot spread and even putting swans out in decoy spreads.
Yes.
In late
confidence
season.
birds.
I didn't even mention it. I got like half a dozen seagulls. That
Yeah.
at one time I was putting
I have a half
seagulls
dozen
out there.
coots that we've never used. But I
No?
got them. I got them years ago with my first set of decoys. I bought my very first set was used. Got a whole bunch, and it came with a bunch of coots.
I mean, how many times, like we talked about before, you know, in the Humphreys around here, where you're seeing mallard after mallard after mallard dumping in with the coots. I mean,
Yeah.
I seen one guy, I think he bought 10 dozen coot decoys and made just a giant raft this year. And I didn't see like the end result or anything or how the hunts went, but a spread like that around here, I feel like it'd be killer.
Well,
There's a lot of 'em.
anybody that's been out there scouting has
Right.
seen that,
Yeah.
right? Again, back here along the park,
Right?
Yep.
out Moulet, you see all the piles
You
of
see
coots.
and then there's buffleheads and bluebills mixed in.
All in
Absolutely, a
there.
few
All in
mixed
there.
in with all the
Yeah.
coots. Absolutely.
Now, how much scouting do you guys do in the water?
Yeah, zero.
That's
Just
good.
go out.
We've been doing it for 20 years. It's like if you've been hunting your spot for that long,
Right.
you know, you're like, you just kind of hope that when you go out there, something happens.
I run out on Lowell Street over here and see if there's birds flying.
It's
and stuff,
obviously
but-
harder because the water, I mean, everybody's hunting around here
Yes.
because even like when I first started, I had a guy, he's like, dude, I would be hunting those islands every day. And it's like, you don't realize how much pressure's out here, man.
Yes.
Every single day, the birds are changing so much. And I think that's what kind of got me away from like the water hunting in a sense.
So with the layout hunt's a little different. Like we lay out
Right,
hunt, we go out
right.
at dusk. You know, you're watching the sun come up. You're going out watching the lines of birds. You know where they're flying.
Right.
Then you kind of
between them.
Pick your spot while you're seeing them fly.
Right.
Like that morning because it changes every day.
Right.
You might look
When-
at it the day before, and we did it. We actually did scout a few years ago. We'd go out and I remember one time we kicked up 1,000 birds. Went there the next day and didn't get a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. I mean,
This is more like 100,000 birds.
right, exactly.
Chased them into Ohio when they never came. We would sit there next day. We were so excited. We set up on that corner. We were like, "Oh man, we got
We're
it.
gonna pound them today.
We're just gonna
Nothing.
get it."
Yeah.
We're out there by the lighthouse, actually.
Yeah.
And we set up. We're out in the middle of nowhere. We're like, "We're good to go. This is gonna be it."
No one else around
Nothing.
you.
Yeah.
No
I mean, it's
birds
just-
came back. We
so,
just
so like
they,
I said,
they got up and left.
scouting's, you know, yes and no. I mean, we have, but we failed. You know,
It's-
it just seems
it's
to not
tough.
always work. Right.
It's very tough.
It's
around
different from field hunting.
Right,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a different deal.
It's I don't know because I have heard from people around here though too, like even like, but you guys are hunting like the big pond. A lot of these
Yeah.
guys are hunting like the backwaters and stuff like that are scouting and taking the boats out.
Yeah, you're hunting
No, we-
puddles. I mean, you're hunting
Yeah,
puddle
right.
ducks. That's different. You can see those little birds. You
Little
know,
back
the
sloughs
mallards
that-
come in, and
yeah.
these birds, and the woodies and the teals. You can
Right.
count on them coming back
Right.
over
right.
and over again. You know, when you're out in the big water, you're looking for the new birds coming in, the flight birds coming through.
Right.
It's just
And the hard
It's a
part for
thing.
you guys, like hunting that big water, they'd come in one day, you could rest for one night, and like you just
Gone.
said, to be
They're gone.
gone the next
Absolutely.
day.
That's what happened on the Seedwing trip.
Yeah.
I mean, we had them. We were killing them Friday, and then we went to go right to that same spot. I said, we were killing birds here. Let's go back. Not a single fucking bird came.
That's a rough
Not
morning next
single
day.
that last morning, not a single fucking bird came at us.
Yeah, it's tough. Man, that's what's so nice. Like even for you, like you coming out. What was it? You said 2 years you've been hunting for?
Yeah, I started for COVID.
Okay.
That's when we had some extra time on the hands. Me and the kid were actually on Celeron deer hunting.
You watched Duck Dynasty, didn't you?
No,
Busted.
it was we were deer hunting on Celeron, and all these guys around us are just blasting away like crazy.
Sorry.
I'm like, what the? We're hunting the wrong species, kid. So I went home, researched it, got a license, bought some paper mache decoys for like $25 off some guy on
Facebook or
Facebook
something.
or whatever, and we just started going out and doing it.
Well, and that's the funny thing is that's how I brought Mike into the club.
Yeah,
Because I happen to just I'm a bit of a talker. So we were at Sunseekers setting up for a Halloween
You
kids'
are?
Part party.
part
yeah.
of Sunseekers Boat Club.
No,
Yeah,
no, talker?
no,
No.
you
Oh,
believe it?
okay. I just I
So
want to clarify. I was joking. I am too.
talking,
I'm horrible.
setting up at Sunseeker Boat Club for one of the events, and and we just started talking. Somehow duck hunting came up, and Mike's, why duck hunting? I'm like, really? So I did the same thing I did to Zach. Hey, you know what? Part of this club. It's in Gibraltar. We got meetings, and he's like, yeah, I'd like to get more involved and learn more about it. And Mike started showing up, and within about a year, he's our secretary.
Yeah, he's like the creepy old man with the candy, and he's
Yeah,
like
I do.
tempting us in.
He tempted him out. Yes,
Come with me. We need younger
and
kids.
it works.
Yeah,
What kind of candy did you eat, Zach?
it was. I believe it was the Paps.
Wow.
Sorry.
No, that's the hardest part, though. I mean, I'm sure you guys have to deal with that with the group on picking what kind of candy to eat. No, I'm just joking. But just trying to find out,
Puts anything in his mouth.
whoa. As I'm holding the microphone, like you said earlier.
Screw you. Open the microphone.
Open up wide.
But like finding the guys that are actually wanting and willing to like make an effort for it.
Yes.
Because like for us, we hunt with a bigger group all the time. Our biggest group this year I think was like 15 guys, right?
Wow.
Crazy.
It's nuts. But finding the guys that are wanting to do it and not having to tell them to do it. It's like I tell these guys all the time, it's like just drive. Just go. You know what I mean? You don't have to talk to me, just drive. And excuse me, the last day of the season we hunted with a guy, Alex from Wisconsin, one of my buddies. He's been on the podcast as well. But it was nice because he was like, dude, anything you need, where do you need me to, what do you need me to do? You need me to set up the A-frames? Do you need me to put the blinds out? What's going on? To have like that, like want to do something makes it so much easier as a group, whether it's you guys or just like a hunting group in general. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, the good thing is, finding these guys because right before that, we had a big turnover.
Mm-hmm.
We had a whole different set of guys who really ran the club.
Oh, really?
And it was the guys that really, they didn't want the help. It was the weird thing is because like, hey, what can I do? No, I got it. And they ran our dinner, did everything. It didn't want a lot of the help. But Jamie and I kind of have the same mindset as, the more the better. I mean, let's help,
You get burned out. I worry about Tim this year. He's taking on a lot. He's doing a lot for the club as far as setting up for the dinner. I'm like, I told him, I go, dude, you need to spread this out a little bit.
Right.
I'm like, you're doing a lot. He's like, well, his workload at work kind of, allows him to do more this year than it had in the past. So that's a big deal. But I'm like, dude, you're going to get burned out. You do this a couple years in a row, you're going to get burned out. Like you scouting constantly.
Right.
You'll get the burnout. It's going to.
I mean, I got my task list. I have a task list I built when I took over, coordinating the dinner, and I just go through it, and I find I'm just really just following up, honestly. Most of it is, hey, did you do this? Hey, did you do this? I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
so it's really, to me, it doesn't feel like a lot.
Good.
So,
I 100% get that as well. Like it's like for me scouting every day, it's like people are like, how are you doing that every day? Well, it's like just kind of a passion of mine that like this is what I like to do. I'm sure like you don't mind it. You like kind of
right.
organizing
And
that.
I want it to be successful. I mean, it's what I do for my job. I coordinate things. I organize projects.
But at the same time, like even for us scouting, not saying like you guys aren't trustworthy by any means, but like it's like almost like a trusting. Like I want it to be on me just to be able to say like me personally know that everything's going to be all right for
Right.
it. And I'm sure you're in a sense the same
I'm
way.
delegating him at following up, right? Because
right.
before it was, I'm not delegating anything. I'm just doing it all myself, and I'd like to delegate. You know, if these guys all step up. Everybody in the club now steps up.
Right.
It does it. Everyone has tasks they do, and that's what it should. That's what the club should be about. Everyone contributing to it. Some people have more availability than others, which is fine. Right. Everyone has families and life. And yeah, and I mean, it is what it is.
We're not a big club. I mean, we're 10, 12 guys.
12 guys now.
Which is crazy
so-
with the amount of stuff that you guys do and put on and what you guys do for the community with that amount of people. It's nuts.
I think we've decided it's pretty good being only that big. You know, it's hard. It's hard to manage a lot of people.
Right.
We watch some big clubs that, you know, that have trouble managing all these people, and you getting them. It's a lot to manage. You know, we talked about, you know, we're a dozen guys, 10, 12 guys. It's
really
enough.
as big as we want to get.
Yeah.
I
Look
mean,
how much we get done because of that.
It's been this way since
because
the inception of it.
not,
Really.
I mean, we have our own little, you know, sometimes we have little debates and discussions about changing things or how we should do things, but it's not that bad because there's only 12 of us.
Well,
if it was 30 of us, there'd be a lot of,
Nothing
you know,
would
it'd be a lot more of that.
I feel like it'd be a lot more finger pointing too, because the guys that are like say the rookies of the group, like the guys that have been, exactly.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, why aren't you doing more or whatever? And it's like, well, it's not even my role. I'm just starting out. I have no idea what's going on. But if it's a smaller group, you can kind of contain and manage.
Right, and we're all there to
those
guide and
guys.
help. And you got any questions, let me know.
Right.
You know, and that's what I like about having a small group. No politics involved, and it's just a bunch of guys who want to have the same goal.
Well, the club facet of it's just like the youth hunt facet of it. Mm-hmm. We don't, you know, we're bringing new guys in to run a club and to help with a club that's, you know, for a goal, right? For an end game. So it's the same deal. We got new guys coming in to do the same thing that we've been doing for years. And we need, you know, at some point, I talked to Tim about it. At some point, I mean,
someone needs to jump in, and
when are we going to stop doing this?
We'll step back and be the ornery old guys complaining about everything, right? I mean, that's the goal.
Zach's going to take all three of you guys out back as soon as he possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that one time at the podcast room? Yeah, you guys are screwed.
I know what he's going to do with us. So I'll appreciate it.
Hey, but he'll put that T-shirt on you guys before he
Got
does it.
soft
Though.
lips.
Whoa.
One last time.
It'll be all right. It's a good time. So.
But it does take a little while, though, even finding that core group of guys, though. You know, you're in going from your guys' club or organization to even like a hunting group, you're going to go through guys, you're going to have to pick and choose, and you know, some of those guys might be some very close friends, but it's like, you know, listen, man, like, it's no hard feelings. It's just we need somebody more willing to step up and actually get stuff done. And like I said, it goes back to like that trust kind of thing.
Right.
I think we're just all so like-minded in the club. Like,
But it takes time to get to that point, though.
Yeah, luckily, when some of the guys stepped away who ran it, like a lot of us had been around long enough where we kind of knew even though we weren't intimate with every little thing they did,
right.
We knew what had to be done.
Right.
And that's what helped.
Yeah, I was years into it. Like, you know, and your son, right? He's how old is your boy?
16.
16. So, I mean, he was 14 when he got into the club. He's like, man, I got a little guy coming in, you know, and I'll get in a club that's going to help me get like-minded to get him into, you know, he's on the Gibraltar fishing team, right? So now we support the fishing team over in Gibraltar.
I so
been
wish
doing
I
that
was
for
going
years.
to school
I wish they would have had that when I was there too.
Yeah.
Right? They have all the cool stuff.
I didn't
after
know what that was back then.
No.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I just brought this up to one of my buddies the other day. It was like, I used to bass fish up north when we used to go camping and stuff, and it's like, where can I fish around here? Like, I had no idea about anywhere, even though, you know, the water's right here for us.
Right.
And it's just crazy the opportunities that we have around our area that people don't even realize.
Well, the best about our fishing here is you catch it and you eat it, unlike the bass.
Yeah, but we have some great bass fishing down
We
here,
do.
too.
We do have a
We
big
do,
bass
but,
fishing,
We do tournaments right here out of
Metro Park. Yeah.
So
Elizabeth,
back years ago, I lived in Dallas, and one of the guys I worked with was on the BASS tour, you know, the local BASS chapter. So I started fishing with him. He wanted a partner, and I said, "Yeah, I could bass fish." I brought all my spinning reels. to all those bass tournaments.
Right. What are you
And he's
doing?
like, what the heck you doing with those? And we started casting. He goes, let me see a cast under this dock. Well, guess what? I cast it under the dock. I mean, not a finesse it.
That's what you grew up doing.
That's what I grew up doing, and I knew how to cast. So my very first tournament, it was a night tournament. I caught a 9.5 pound largemouth.
Around here?
No, in Dallas.
Oh,
Texas.
Dallas. That's right. That's right.
And got big bass, my first tournament ever.
Wow.
And I was nicknamed the fucking Yankee walleye fisherman
Jesus
because it was
Christ.
my very first tournament I did, and I won big bass.
The things you learned about your buddy that you never knew.
Lord.
And I used all my Yankee baits, is what it was.
You might get judged for that now. Just
Big
so
bass
you know.
yanker. That's what we call him now.
The anchor of the bees. No, that was a thing too, where our buddy Troy Stokes, he's just part of like the MLF. I was telling you guys before that Tim got here. He invited me out, and he's got like the big bass boat and stuff like that. And here I come with my tackle box and my one pole, and I'm like, "What are we doing today, dude?" And he's like, "We're drop shotting." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I got my pole, so let's go." He opens up his drawer on his boat, and he's got 30 rods down there, and it's like,
I had to buy
What's
a
the
couple
point?
more. I had one when I moved to Dallas. I had to buy 2 more for these tournaments because you had to have them rigged different ways.
it's insane.
Yes, you had your top
Oh,
water
yeah.
baits and your rattle traps. And
But
your,
you know what's crazy
Drop
about
shots, your Texas rig,
yes,
Carolinas.
right? It
you know
was all
what's
different.
what's crazy about that though is like we're calling them crazy for having 30 rods, but here we are with 40 dozen decoys in our garage that they have no idea what's
I
going
probably have
on.
that many rods too.
I was just thinking the same thing. I just hung up 20
I
rods.
got my perch
I got
rods,
10
my
more
whirling
waiting
rods,
for-
my jigging rods, and my trolling rods. Then I got my salmon rods. I'm rigging up. And
nuts.
So yeah, I got that too.
Because it's like, why are you guys like? We just went coyote hunting not too long ago. Our last podcast was with,
That was a cool podcast. That was pretty neat.
Those guys were
That's a good listen.
Yeah, those guys were awesome. They were out kind of towards where we're hunting at, and we went out with them for the first time, and I had no idea what was going on. And they have all this night vision, and you could see.
Yeah, those
it.
pulsars are amazing. I've hunted with one before.
I'm telling you, you could see a deer fart from 500 yards away.
Yeah.
Like it was
Wow.
insane, like
Amazing.
nuts. And it's like, what? Why are you spending 10 grand on that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that? But then here I am with, Zach just seen it not too long ago or Saturday. Here we are with 3 A-frames, 10 dozen full body decoys in the trailer. I mean, just everything. And it's like, okay, I'm doing the same thing, but just,
in a different,
Different,
way.
right.
Yeah, same
Absolutely.
different. Yeah.
but I don't know. But what's coming up for you guys though? Any big, what are you guys kind of looking forward to? What's coming up for?
So next
Gibraltar?
couple of weeks, we actually have a wild game dinner. It's our big fundraiser for the year that helps us pay for everything we do, all the donations and everything we contribute. It pays for our youth hunt. March 9th. Is
Super exciting.
Yes.
And anybody that wants to go, how would they be able to reach out to you guys to be able to get a ticket or
So on our
sponsor?
Facebook page for Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, there's a link through the Square app to buy tickets.
Okay.
We have different packages. We have individual tickets, sponsor pack, corporate sponsor, and then a corporate sponsor plus, which is additional seats at the table, like up to
Okay.
10 people. We have a lot of guns. We partner up with Downriver Guns. Last year at our dinner, 37 guns went out the door.
Wow.
At
Yeah,
our
so
dinner.
one in every 6 people walked out the door.
Holy smokes.
If you walked in with a group of 6, chances are one of those guys are walking out with a gun.
Yeah.
Guarantee it wouldn't be me because I have horrible luck.
Yeah, me and you both. Man.
So it's funny.
20 years, I've won one.
We have a good partnership with Josh over there at Downriver Guns, and
He's a good dude.
He when we go talk to him, he just tells me your dinner has a reputation
That's
because
awesome.
of how well it is. The prize
It's all about the food
in the food
because the food's delicious.
Yes.
I mean, these guys that put it on over there on all those.
Are you guys doing like a wild game dinner kind of
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. You want to hear the menu?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. Well, hold on.
Rattle that out. I mean, it's a great dinner. We held over the gumbo from the old days. That's the one thing we held
Really?
over.
Because that was when we held the dinner at in Gibraltar Community Center.
At the community center for years. That's where it all started. It's
Yeah, we had Cafe West when it was open in Trenton. Blake Hart would
he was our cook. Yeah,
he
And it's
would
gonna be
cater it.
such a
and he brought his gumbo, and everybody came for our gumbo.
that's gonna be such a crazy thing though. Like over the years, the spots that you guys are doing, and how like much bigger you guys are getting every single year. I mean, it's got to be such a gratifying thing.
Oh, it is.
Well, we actually kind of hold it back a little bit because there's
So much
it's
going
like everything
on.
else. There's so many people you can handle
Right.
when you're doing a gig
Right.
like
To
this.
keep it quality.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So in our menu this year, appetizers,
Uh-oh.
Just appetizers.
whiskey venison meatballs, oysters, stuffed jalapeno, stuffed jalapeno, alligator hush puppies, spicy elk queso dip, venison taquitos. That's just the appetizers.
So you get people that come off the appetizer line like they're eating for a
They
week.
think it's the dinner.
That's
They-
crazy.
you know, and that comes out about around 6 o'clock. That'll come out. Then about 7:30, they come out with our dinner. That's grilled elk, venison andouille sausage gumbo, fried lake perch, crawfish mac and cheese, seasoned duck, roasted quail, a salad, and wild berry cobbler.
Wow.
Plus
Plus
a meal.
plus premium bar, open
Wait,
bar.
don't forget that.
Oh, forget the food.
Right, premium open bar, and that's and honestly, that's why people spend money.
Right. Right.
You get a couple cocktails in them. I mean, you feed them well. I mean, and that's the thing is the quality of the food at our dinner is unbelievable.
Now, are you guys getting all that food donated to you?
No, we pay a lot of money.
Okay.
We don't make a lot of money on the actual food itself.
Almost nothing, really. I mean, the
break even.
ticket cost to our expenses because we buy all the gifts, unlike some of the other dinners, maybe like a DU or a
Donated
turkey.
and stuff, yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily donated, but they have to buy through DU. They have to do this stuff where we do our own thing, right?
It's just normal guys having a
Yep.
friends
having
group.
having a big old dinner, trying to
Right.
raise funds for kids, right?
So we
And
have
for
a
youth
corporate
events.
account with Cabela's where they give us a discount. I think it's 20% off on any Cabela Bass Pro brand, 10% off everything else. We've also recently partnered with Domka Outdoors.
Oh, very nice.
They're
They're
pretty
awesome
cool.
guys over there.
Yeah.
So they
they're-
let us shop and they give us a 20% discount starting last year, and I just arranged it. And I think this weekend we're going to do our shopping spree there, where we come up with a bunch of walleye stuff because their fishing stuff is unbelievable. We like to support a lot of the local
Right.
places. Rogers Outdoors. The Gressars, the waterfowl stuff's all on clearance at Rogers, so we kind of did
Buy a
little
lot
shopping
through there,
spree
yeah.
as well online. So we get some really good deals, but we buy a lot. For our dinner.
We'll have your full body goose decoys there. You get some more of those. You need some.
Trust me, I don't know.
I don't think he has a room.
I was gonna say I don't think I have the room.
That trailer.
But you
trailer
never
is
have
half
enough.
Full.
Oh, trust
Never
me,
enough.
we just had we had a total of 20 dozen full bodies, and we just
Wow.
had to sell, I think 8, just because of we never were using that much. But it was nice always to have that.
Yeah.
But we were never really using that much, so it's like why even have that much decoys?
Why drag them around? Yeah.
Right. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could have the 2 trailers roll out there and the 2 4-wheelers running stuff back and forth. But it's like we just never really need it. I
Right.
think even for our hunt, when you came out, we got out there
I think we put 3 dozen out.
about 20 minutes before light, and it was it's such a nice setup. Every single hunt we have, or a nice just we got it all planned out where it's not going to take much time. Everybody's got a job to do. Everything's getting done. I mean, it's nice. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But what's besides the dinner? I mean, what's kind of any bigger future things for you guys?
Yes, actually talking to Bob Whitlam today at he's the president of the Point Muller Waterfowl Festival. Tomorrow, him and some guys are going out to look at the marsh for the next handicap blind, ADA
very
blind.
nice.
That's coming up. Yeah. And
Very
the second
nice.
one out there. The engineer's coming out.
Yeah, so they're going to walk that kind of. They already chose the one the spot where they're going to put it, and that's something we're going to help them with. We're also looking at redoing some of the signage out in the managed area
Oh, that's
make
right.
it-
I did hear about that.
to make it a little more
Yeah.
clear. To know which zone you're in.
right.
Because
Right.
it's a
Well,
little
you're always
confusing.
goose hunting, but have you ever done the draw hunt over there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, the first couple of years before getting into the fields, that's all we used to do is the draw hunts.
Yeah.
and
So some of those signs when you're walking down the
you
dike,
can't
you're
even
like,
see.
there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
You
that's
doing reflective or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely,
reflective,
yeah.
bigger
That's awesome.
signs,
Yep.
little clearer, easier to read, and little. I think with even arrows, like hey, be on this side of the sign.
Which is
To know
even
it-
like tough, even like other managed units, like
It's
in
tough.
Michigan that I've hunted.
Yeah.
You don't even know where you're going,
No.
where the levees are. Or what,
You could
whatever.
set up in somebody else's zone real easy. Right?
Very easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done.
Very
I think
easily.
I might have done that once
Yeah.
or twice.
It
Whatever.
The
happens.
sun comes
You mean
up. you're
Zach's done it, not you. Zach's done it. No.
he doesn't leave Erie much to hunt. To tell you the truth.
No, I love Wood Tick. I love hunting down there.
Again, that's Erie.
Yeah.
Isn't that Erie?
Yeah, that's Erie.
Okay.
I mean, I love hunting down there. It's awesome. You know, you've got just everything. I can shoot puddlers out there. I can shoot divers. I can shoot geese. I get to see everything, and then I don't have to go.
Light your boat on fire. You
That
go
was-
over your
that was up
waders
here.
very
That wasn't
easily.
down
you know?
there.
Dunk yourself in
Well,
water.
I did get. I've
And then still
I've
stay
been
out there
stranded
all
out
night.
there.
Whatever.
I've been stranded out there twice. Last season, I was stranded out there once. This few years ago, I got stranded out there for like 12 hours.
It's also-
This
sounds like
is
an-
the guy you want to hunt with, right?
Sounds like an amazing
But
time.
you want to know something? I have great memories of it. Me and whoever I'm with.
After the fact, those great
After-
memories.
No, we're laughing the entire time. There's a lot of F words.
There's
that are said
no
in the
chance.
beginning.
There's no chance you're laughing the entire
They're
time.
laughing at him, not with
Yeah, I was
him.
just saying, there's no chance in hell that
You know
you're
what?
laughing the entire
they
time.
might be laughing at me, but I don't give a shit. I'm having a good time, so that's all. that
You're
matters.
laughing when you're stranded way out there. You're
Dude,
crazy.
dude. So
Who does that?
The one hunt.
Psychos.
The
He's
one hunt that
freaking
I
out.
had.
Oh my
We get
God.
all the way out to Wood Tick early in the morning. It's like 4:30.
Way to tell your spots away.
I'm just saying Wood Tick. I'm not telling where at.
Oh, they know.
Well, then they'll figure it out. So we get all the way out there and shoot a couple ducks. I'm coming back. One of our decoys came loose from a spread, so we went out to go get it. Well, as we were turning around, I sheared the drive shaft on my engine. And so it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm like, well, this fucking sucks. We get a phone call right after that happens from my buddy's dad and says, you guys might need to get off the water. There is now a small craft advisory out there. And so we're like, shit. Okay, so we're in the safest spot that we could potentially be at, in the reeds, on the island. So we decide, well, let's put our life jackets on and we get the trolling motor going and we start paddling. And we paddle.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
You just mentioned like 2 solid points of where you're hunting at. And you're like, good luck trying to find out where. You mentioned island and then wood tick.
There's 4 islands out there. So
Okay, so 1 out of 4 is where you're at. I
no,
mean,
Turtle Island's Turtle Island's way out there. We weren't out that far with it.
Well, that just narrowed down the number of
I
islands.
know.
exactly.
That's
So
fine.
you're 1 out of 4.
You're not at the one way out far.
Yeah.
And apparently it's close enough to row home from.
It would no. We were
God,
nowhere near.
we're getting you here, bud.
We were nowhere near.
You want to just?
All right, I'm about
I'll
to
tell you
pull up
what.
a map and pinpoint
Send
it.
me the coordinates. I'll drop it in the description for the podcast.
That's
that
fine.
way the people
fine.
are listening.
If you guys want to beat me out there, I'm usually there about 2:30 in the morning. So if you want to
Actually,
beat
you'll
me
just
there.
need to go out there and save Zach because he's going to be stranded. So he's going to post that just so we can get saved.
Yeah. No, that's actually probably a really
Can't
good
find
idea.
Zach. You know where he is.
right out in the middle, just floating, laughing apparently.
Laughing.
No, seriously. I mean, we did. Every time that something has happened like that, we were laughing. I mean, it's just,
You're insane.
yeah, I am.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's just, you got to look at the positives. I'm not at home. I'm out in the water. And, it's just.
What's
you're
your old
outdoors.
lady hears this one?
Oh, no. You could have sent her this one. But no, I mean, it's just fun. I mean, that's just what happens. I mean, that's just unfortunately, you go out there duck hunting, shit's gonna happen. You guys have probably all have had some crazy shit happen.
Never.
Lies. Bullshit. Bullshit from you guys have got smirks on your face.
I'll stick to my dry fields. No, I can
that's
just
fine.
walk out.
That's
not
fine.
Float out.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you throw a boat into the equation, changes everything.
Oh, trust
Yeah.
me. I've had
Changes everything.
I got a 16-foot Ranger duck boat. That's what we used to hunt out of before we got into the fields. That boat has been through some hell. I'll tell you that. That new dike wall on Celeron, I've tried to jump that multiple times. I mean, it's been through the ringer. A couple of these later, I mean, it is what it is. It's, yeah. Trust me, I've been there. Not as bad as you, but I've been
Dude,
there.
every hunt, some crazy shit happens. I don't know what happens. It's just every time I go out hunting, some crazy shit just fucking happens.
What's the common denominator here?
Oh,
Zach
100%.
going hunting.
It's
Zach
100%.
going hunting.
It's 100%.
Don't go with
me.
him on the water.
But I can tell you that's why I've upgraded boats, getting bigger boats and bigger boats, because small boats, and Jamie and I've had a couple experiences.
I could say the denominator might be you.
So fuck you, Tim.
I mean, I got traded twice this year, and I was with Tim both times. So I mean,
Yeah, so what's the denominator there?
that's Tim.
Yeah.
It's all about Tim.
Hey,
Was
he
the
said
boat.
it.
Or you know what? If he was there and I was there,
Maybe it's
there were
me.
two common denominators.
Maybe it's me.
You always have that one guy, because we got a couple guys that we take out every year, and it's like every time they go out with us, we don't shoot anything. It's like, dude, don't text me. Don't call me.
Right.
You're not going anymore, because every time you come out, we don't shoot a thing.
Right.
Don't do it. Any big hunting trips for you guys coming up?
Oh man. Well, we were just talking about. Well, if we don't get anybody else involved in this, we need a guy.
A guy?
We need a guy. We need a third for Saskatchewan this year.
Ooh.
The problem is the only thing I really see missing, because we didn't get the first week out there. We got the second week with this guy, which is
October 6th through 12th.
Well,
Who are you guys going with?
it's a guy. It's just a guy.
Well, it's a guy who
His name's Ed Killian.
he had a house there.
Is it a guide service or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, just a
it's,
buddy.
It's straight up just a guy.
Guy
And he
owned a
loves
house out in Saskatchewan. He's from Monroe.
Oh, really?
And he had a house out there for 20 plus years and has been hunting it that long.
Wow.
Knows everybody
And
around.
it's not a guide.
Well, yeah, there's like 11 of them.
You drive out there,
Out there.
it
Right.
costs you your food, your gas, and $50 a night for the stay. That's it.
Wow.
You can't beat it. You're hunting probably 6 days of hunting.
Unbelievable
Might
hunting.
cost you a couple grand. You never know what you get. I mean, Tim's went once. I went twice. This will be my third year going. I told Tim when the first year we did it, I says, this is so cool and it's so economical, because
Right.
you know how you do if you did a guide deal. It's
Right.
It'd be triple
it's
that,
a lot
and
of
you'd
money.
hunt 2 days.
Yeah, you
right?
might hunt a couple days and you got to come back home. But this is a whole week hanging out, good times. So you go out there. So early in the season, they hunt cranes, right?
Right.
Sandhill cranes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. These birds are so big.
They're dinosaurs.
Their wingspan is as tall as you are when you take the pictures. It's
Right.
amazing, right? So you shoot cranes, and then later, the next thing is you got cranes and geese, Canadian geese,
Canada's.
You can't
Canada
say-
geese.
I know. It's such a
you
big
cannot say you're shooting
whatever.
Canadians. So Canada geese, you're going up there to shoot Canada geese. So sandhill cranes and Canada geese, and then within a week or two, it changes over to snow. So it depends on when you hit it.
Right.
Then it's that last week of September, first couple weeks of October is when it all is. So it's, you're in your prime time here.
on the weather.
But going out there, it's just kind of like the hunt of a lifetime.
Anywhere in Saskatchewan, or that's the hard part for me though too, because two parts on that. You go with the guide service. My whole thing is like, you're not doing anything. There's no work involved. You're just showing up in the morning and you're jumping in a blind.
then he
That's
does
not this.
I like the work behind it all.
So your day is getting up at 3 a.m.
Oh, I'm out.
Ed, the guy who coordinates everything, he's making breakfast before anyone gets up at like 2:30. You're up and out the door in 20 minutes with eating. I mean, he's quick.
You ain't got enough time to wipe at
No.
that point.
So you're out the door. You're driving out to the field. You're setting up before you're shooting. You're done by 11, maybe noon at the latest. Picking up,
sooner.
or maybe sooner, cleaning birds, back eating lunch, cat nap, and then you're scouting. The guy knows
me every weekend.
The guy
Right,
knows
it's your
every-
normal
The
gig.
guy
Right.
knows every farmer in 30, 40 miles. When you're driving around, he's finding the birds in the fields,
Yeah.
pulling out the county map, finding the name on it, and calling them.
Yeah.
And he knows them.
He knows every one of them. He calls them. I see birds in your field. You mind if I hunt them? Nope, I want them gone. So you go back. That's your plan. The next day, it's every single day is the same.
That's and
It's unbelievable.
like even like the other point I wasn't even going to make, like even with bringing up with you guys guiding like the kids or whatever, which I was misunderstood on when we first met. Everybody always talks like we're a big guide service out there where we hunt and stuff, and it's like half the time it's all the time it's all buddies and friends and
Buddy
family and
hunts,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and it's like this isn't a job here. We're weekend warriors. We're going out with friends and family, making memories for ourselves. Like that's all I care about. Like, Mark the other day, the guy in your guys' club.
Oh yeah,
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Squatch. He texted me and said, "Hey, next year, me and my boy are booking a hunt with you." And it's like, booking a hunt? What are you talking? Like, just text me and tell me you want to come out. Like, I come on out, and I feel bad like you guys weren't able to come out. Like all three of you guys.
Yeah, we failed there for
we
sure.
did.
And
Yeah, because we talked about it. Just life got in
it's
the way.
it's life, like we talked
is,
about.
yeah.
It's life, but it's just one of those things where I don't care who comes out. I just want people to have fun and enjoy it out there.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of guys that are just, why didn't we shoot 30 birds? We only shot 25. It's like,
Right, because if they're paying, they're expecting.
it's a job though. It's
They're
a job at that
expecting
point.
something, yeah.
Right. It's
So
like,
yeah, that's what this crane hunt is, and that's what he stressed to us the first year we went. Just this is not a guide. I mean, we're out there putting out decoys, and I'm telling you,
Right.
these guys are in their 70s, some of them.
wow.
And these guys work.
I'll tell you
I
what.
mean, they did not. None of them slacked off. I mean, it was every one of them. I mean, the one time we partnered up with this other group, we must have had 1,500 snow decoys out. We brought snow geese in from the stratosphere.
Holy
that
smokes.
day.
That
It was-
probably was
I
an
had
amazing
never-
sight to see.
cyclones.
It was
Just cycloning
unbelievable.
down,
It was unbelievable. I mean, our spread was so wide. You just watched them just swirl.
Those
through the
guys get
clouds.
nervous while you guys are coming up there, though? Like driving that far, they get nervous or anything?
No, he don't care.
No.
I mean, he's the expectation's set to where
It is what it is.
you may or may not get birds.
Because every time
Yeah.
like somebody comes out with me, whether it be out of state or in state, you know, I've had guys from Pennsylvania, I had a guy from Texas this year come up. I'm running to the closest tree line I could possibly run to as fast as I can because my nerves set in and my stomach does not agree with me in the morning.
You know, Ed's probably that way.
He probably
Honestly,
is.
the guy
Because
that
the
guy
first
that's
year
got
we
the
went,
hookup.
It was not the greatest year. I mean, the second year Jamie went, it was.
and
a
it's
lot
just
better.
like it's like
But it is
like
what
you
it
guys are
is.
putting all like even like with Zach and stuff like which I didn't run to a tree line Saturday, but like I just want everything to work out.
Well, you want to put people on birds, right? You want them to have a good time.
My biggest thing for people like getting on birds, honestly, is like seeing like the Snapchats or the Instagram stories after the fact, because like when that happens, it's like, okay, you guys had a really good time.
Absolutely.
Because you're talking about it.
Yeah, you're talking about it and you're like expressing what's going on. That's how I know like you could say, that was awesome all you want. Get in the truck with your buddy, drive home, and you're like, yeah, it's all right, whatever. This happened, that happened. I don't agree with that. But like when you're expressing it and stuff, like it's like, damn, like I did that.
You got it right.
It was
Yeah.
sweet,
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah, Ed's
Every-
probably. You're right though.
every tree
Ed's
line.
probably.
He probably is.
You
He
can
doesn't
probably
show-
notice some stress in the morning when he's
Yes.
getting ready to go. He's like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's go. He's getting everybody going.
he's
Probably got some
He's
stress.
a little
there.
high strung on there,
Yeah.
but but he's trying. He really puts the effort in.
Yeah.
He does, and he's been doing it for years, right? He actually, I mean, the guy had owned a house in Saskatchewan to do this. That's what
Which-
he did for decades.
hasn't that changed
Commitment.
recently for Saskatchewan like owners? Like you have to own a house in Saskatchewan now. Is that for guide services? Do you know
Well,
anything about
I don't
that?
know. He had one. I don't know. I'm not sure what the rule is. I mean, I know, he talked about even selling it back when we were up there. I think he sold it right after COVID cleared up.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I think
You know?
last year something changed, whether it been for guide services, because a lot of the guides were coming from like Kansas going
Yes,
up
they
there.
have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think now you have to have a residency in Saskatchewan to be able to own a guide service up there.
Oh.
And that was a big thing with, the revenue of money and bringing people up there.
Right. Yeah, like
How
I
are we
said,
gonna
he's
do
not
that?
making a dime on this. I mean,
No,
I
we're
mean,
definitely different.
basically the money we were paying was paying for his taxes and stuff
Right.
for his house. That's really it. He
That's
just
awesome,
he just wants to hunt,
Right.
and he wants buddies to hunt with. That's
Yeah.
really all it is.
It's
So he's,
so
he's
nice.
rented a house for a couple of weeks. Is what we basically locked into.
It's so nice to find people like that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice to find
And
people
he,
like
you know,
that.
and he knows Jamie and I, kind of learned the program, the year we went, and he went after. So it's it's a lot of work. We have no problem putting it in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that because that is one hunt that I have been really thinking about, like going up there and hunting. Just it's hard to go say south a couple states, shoot the same exact birds that we're shooting up here
Right.
in the field.
You kind of want him to open up the cranes in Michigan. That's been on the books for several years,
They
right?
opened up in Ohio.
Well, I'll tell you, Kyle.
Did?
There's
Yep.
there's an offer out there to a couple of guys. A few have turned it down that couldn't make it.
Is that Zach?
I haven't been asked yet, you fucks.
No, we're not inviting him
Yeah, I
because he's
wouldn't
just
blame- I
gonna be
don't
trouble.
blame you. I
He's
don't
just
blame you.
trouble.
I don't blame you.
What?
But the offer's been out there to a couple of guys.
You don't have a mic. Just sit there, right?
So, I mean, if they turn it down, I mean, we'd still need a third. We like three guys getting out there.
Keep me updated on it. Keep me updated on it. For
Because
sure.
we want 3 guys in one truck to rotate the driving. You split the gas.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that
And
would
it
be
works.
a lot
And it
of
works in the blind. The whole thing just kind of think about the whole process of
fun.
it.
Right.
So it's could work out because we need another guy. We haven't got a commitment yet. Tim and I are committed to it. We've already put the deposit down for the house for
Let me
our
know.
week, right? So we rented, basically for the week. Got a lockdown. It's a real deal. So it's a cool hunt. It's
I don't know if I have your number.
I think you do.
Okay.
Well, we can figure
I'll
that
have to
out.
double check. Yeah, after the podcast and everything, we'll figure that all out.
Am I doing your podcast from Saskatchewan?
That'd be sick, wouldn't it? That'd be dangerous, actually.
It could happen.
Yeah, but with Jameson or whatever kind of whiskey they
just
have up there.
blottoed out. Like Crown Royal, man. It's Crown Royal. It's Canadian.
Yeah, you
got to drink Crown Royal.
We'll all be Brad on that podcast. That'd be the problem.
So this guy's got a hookup, and he found a new place. So these you get a lot of Oriental restaurants, Chinese restaurants up
Yeah.
there. For some reason, there's one in every town. Don't understand why, but it's what it is. So he takes these. We breast out the birds, and you have to do them in a certain way to where there's a wing attached, right? The whole thing to get them across the
There's
border.
a whole system.
I think they changed that now.
I don't know.
I know you got to have a wing on it. I mean,
From Canada
Because
back here.
I hunted Ontario 2 years ago now. And I want to say this past year they changed something about that.
There's got to be some sort of bird ID, right, on the way back.
Yeah, something about something about an ID where I gotta. I would have to look it up because I don't want to say something.
I mean, they had a whole
wrong.
system.
So
that
anyway,
was clear.
so what this guy
Right.
does is, let's say we take the thighs, right? Because the
Right.
thighs, there's a lot of meat on them, but they don't. When you breast the bird out, it's just different,
Yeah,
right? So we take the thighs, take them out, we take them back to the house, debone them, and we take them over to the restaurant, and they cook it up for us. So we go there.
Chinese restaurant.
we-
all their different, like the Szechuan.
I don't even want to. I don't want to top that. But
It's a great meal, right? So we go over there for one night, maybe later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, later in the week after we got some birds. So you got all these, crane thighs you take over there. Just
there's a lot of meat there too. That
Oh,
people
man.
don't even think about that.
Yeah.
because it's a massive bird, right? So yeah, we go over there and just eat like kings. And they cook it. They shut down the place. So you walk in the door, and it's after hours. You walk in there with your case of Miller Lite and your bottle. Chow down. It's a great time.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it's just
amazing.
it's a really cool experience, right? I mean, just what you ate, it's like going
Sounds
out,
amazing.
It's like going down the river. The guys talk about it for walleye season. You go down there and there's some restaurants. You can take your meat. You can take your catch over there and they'll cook it and clean it.
Florida. Every bar down in the Florida
Right.
Keys does that.
Right.
Yeah.
You go shoot,
That's
you
what I
catch-
want to do this year too. We talked about like that wild game kind of dinner type thing. Like grab a group of guys, a couple boats, whatever it may be. Set a time to go out in the morning. Set a time to be done. Go to one of the islands, deep fry some fish on the island. Have a little fish fry on the island.
in.
I think that'd be so fun. Like just fresh
I'm
as can
in.
be walleye out there. It'd be a blast.
Yes.
And speaking of walleye, if you guys need jigs this year, I'm making jigs again this year.
Really?
So
Okay.
keep me posted.
I
on
did
that.
buy a mold last year. Haven't used it yet.
Oh, so your competition.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not selling them.
Yeah, whatever, Tim, whatever.
I haven't used it yet, honestly.
Eddie, so this is going to be like on top of the head kind of question for you guys before we wrap this all up. I kind of want to know one kind of tip or something for like the kids, message for the kids for getting into it, or like what's the word I'm looking for? Advice. Yeah, advice. Yeah.
That's the basic word.
I'm the hard R right now, but yeah, just advice or tips or tricks or anything for like the kids that are getting into this sport.
It's like a Nike commercial. Just do it.
Yeah, that's a very good answer.
You just got to get out.
You're
right?
like the white LeBron.
How do you the fluffy LeBron, the Shaq LeBron, the fluffy guy?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I was just getting kids out. It's just doing it. It's hard to like. I got 2 daughters, right, and they went through this. I call it the system, right? The club. Both my girls did it. They did it together at times. They did it separate at times. My daughter, on the way here, I told her, hey, I'm going down to do a podcast. She's like, you're doing a podcast?
Right.
Because she does one, but it's all about anime stuff, right? Because she's young. So I said, yeah.
My wife had the same reaction. Podcast?
I know.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
What are you doing?
It's funny to get some certain people out here because, like, I never know how people are going to react with doing a podcast because, like, hearing yourself in the headphones or talking, but it's just a big conversation about guys that love hunting.
Guys hunting, doing their thing.
Right.
Yeah, man. So yeah, this is our first time doing that. So it's been kind of, it does feel weird. There's no doubt because I've done it before. But
once you get going, it's like,
it's a conversation.
It's
just a conversation.
Right,
So anyway, the girls went through this. And so I was leaving the house. I said, hey, I'm going down to this podcast. And she says, Dad, tell them about what I did the last hunt I did. She's like, tell them about that goose that I knocked down. And, and then I was able to she stalked this thing.
right.
Does this head whacker on it over here at the Metro Park. And she thought it was the best thing ever. I'm like, she still lives on that. She's like, it was great. So
just a memory in itself.
Oh, man. Yeah. So she, at any moment in her life when she has the ability or maybe hooks up with a guy that's going to, that's into it.
Yeah, if he's not a good guy, we're going to kick his ass.
Yeah, right. She's going to, also jump right back into it. She's like, I know how to do this. My dad showed me how to do this. So those experiences are cool. Tim did it with his daughter, your son. You're going to have a kid here hopefully sometime soon after your thing you're doing.
Then he'll be able to start hunting again in about 6 years.
Hopefully not.
I told
be
Lydia,
stranded.
I'm just gonna put that kid on my back and be out there as a chief. Was not.
Yeah, so I mean, getting the kids out there and just like you said, just getting your children out of the house
Exposed
in the morning. Getting them to wake up in the morning
That's
is
the hardest.
It's horrible.
I'm sure.
I had heartache, getting them up and not wanting to get up. And like, they'd say, okay, Dad, what time are we going? I'm like, I'm not telling you.
Right.
I'm just going to come up here and get you. It's going to be dark. Don't look. Don't ask.
That's even some of the guys that we hunt with. You know what I mean? It's just like
just grown men, right? Yeah.
Saturday wasn't bad. Sunday I was bad.
It's hard. It's hard to get up.
It is.
Saturday.
Who did?
Sydney did. She said she turned the light on, and you're like, "What time is it?"
Oh, yeah, because I was on 2 hours of sleep. It was horrible.
Didn't want to just sleep in so you could watch Super Bowl?
But it is, as hard as it is, it's easier to get up to hunt than get up to go to work, even though it's 4 hours earlier. Always.
Like I said,
it sucks, but once you're up, and you're going.
I had 2 hours of sleep, but I hunted, hung out with the guys afterwards, shed hunted after that, and then scouted, and then I sleep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I'd rather do that any day of the week. Obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so like been married for 30 years, like besides all the great times I have with my wife, my next best times are in the field.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then to get these kids out there to do what we do and to get them going, to get their parents motivated to get them to do it. Right?
Yeah, that would be good.
So that's a big deal, right? So when we do our youth hunt, to get those parents to get their kids out to actually hunt before they come into the youth hunt. So they bring their ducks, they tell us their hunts.
Right.
It's a big deal, I mean, and that's how we grow and how we sustain this whole system, right? Because like we have the DNR comes down, the federal wildlife guys, they come down and they tell us all about how the money that we spend on the
Stamps, the federal stamps.
on the federal stamps and our licenses. That's how this all is, it's how it keeps going, right? There's somewhere that money's got to come from something to make it doesn't happen on its own, right? This money comes from
It's not from your bird watchers.
No. That's a whole different thing.
Well, it's not because a lot of them don't buy stamps. If they did,
whole conversation.
Right?
It is.
That's a big conversation.
It's not nothing knocking
Tim's
them.
going to get us in trouble here.
It's not knocking them, but do they buy duck stamps?
We are totally canceled now.
Yeah.
No, that's a huge conversation that people that are people are having right now is like, these guys that are going out in these wild refuge, like taking pictures and stuff. Should they buy stamps for that as well? I mean, it's a whole thing. But
and I have nothing against them. It's funny. I just took my puppy down to Point Muley a couple weeks ago, got him in the water, and
what kind of puppy did you get?
We talked about earlier, that English Lab Golden Mix, the one I got at the festival last year.
Oh yeah.
I was supposed to get.
So he's 70 pounds now, 6 months old.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so he's gonna be a big boy. So, but I had him in the water. He didn't swim, but I had him up to his chest, and he's fetching and. So
I'm screwed.
Yeah, he's going to be a beast.
That's why we bought a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Tim didn't tell me that, but that's why we bought a bigger boat.
I'm down there, and while I was out playing with him, some goldeneye come flying by. So I'm sitting there watching, and some ladies come walking up with these giant cameras right when I was picking up. I said, "Oh, you ladies out watching birds?" Yeah. I said, "Well, you missed just a big group of goldeneyes." Oh, and they were so upset they missed them. There was buffleheads out there swimming, but... it was...
I'll tell you what, though, honestly, like, they always talk about stages in hunting, right? One, you just want to get out there and hunt and hunt and hunt. And then, like, the next stage is limits. And then I think the next stage is just, like, kind of passing on the knowledge of it all. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like, the pictures that some of these guys take of this waterfall and stuff is absolutely incredible. And I'm really taken up where it's like, I want to know knowledge of like what species or bird, like I'm so anal about like just knowing like the small details of stuff of, and that's what's so interesting about the bands that are shot. Like, man, that bird flew 1,800 miles in 2 months. Just like small stuff like that. Like, it's just so interesting to me.
It is, absolutely.
And I'll even go towards like the wind, like during the year, where we have a north wind, right? So everybody thinks the birds are coming down. I'll look at my wind finder map. We have a north wind, but Saginaw has a south wind. So those birds are probably stopping right around that area. So we're probably not going to get a push like we think we are. Just because we have a north wind doesn't mean anything.
True.
I'll look at all those different things, or say like north wind here, and then the southeast wind cuts it off right here. Well, that's probably where all like the birds are going to be at. Like the geese are going to be in the fields around that area that are getting pushed down from the north. Like, I'm so particular about that kind of stuff on my scouting, on whatever it may be. And like you said, like you've done it for so many years. I try to start like a little book this year with like my scouting, and a lot of my help has been from pictures. I'll look at pictures from 2-3 years ago. I'll say, oh, like 3 years ago we killed a lot of birds over in that field. So let me go check that field at this time of year and see what it is. And usually they're there.
They're all timestamps, so you can check it out.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah. But there's I don't know. There's the pictures is, I don't know, it's crazy to me. But that's a huge debate right now, is like the stamps for photographers.
Right. I mean,
it's been talked about for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah. They talk about or an entry fee to these places if you don't have or something.
Well, they got to pay. Like Lake Erie Metro Park is like a
$7 or whatever bucks a day or whatever.
That's
it
state
is.
Though. It's not federal. I mean, it's different. It's different.
I don't even think that's state.
We're grassroots, man. We're all about the states.
They got to
pay. They got to pay to come in there.
Is Metro Park state? I was saying, I don't think it was.
It's county.
No, well, it's smaller than federal.
It's even smaller, yeah.
It's even smaller than
because like
they don't have to buy a federal duck stamp to get in there.
What's the one up north where Bay City's Waterfall Festival's at?
The Gonquin? Oh, that's one.
It's right off the bay there.
Fish Point, see other.
Because that's
I
the
can't
one that
think
you
of
can
it.
do on your license plate to get in there for.
Oh, because that's a state.
It's a
That's a
state.
state park.
Right.
Oh, it's a
right,
state
right.
park.
Yeah.
Down on
Yeah.
falls and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Metro Park's not.
Yeah,
It's-
no,
it's-
you're right. Yeah. It's smaller than state. I was.
Right.
Yeah, point was.
Yeah,
wasn't
way to go,
federal, yeah.
Tim. Way to screw it up.
I did.
No.
I pulled a Zach.
That's gonna be the new joke for you guys.
No, it never stopped.
It never
I've been
stops.
around for
Stop.
3 years, and this shit has never stopped.
I'm gonna be honest with you, 100%, 110%. You don't realize how happy that makes me feel.
That he gets harassed.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
never
me
stopped. It's been the
so
whole
happy. I mean, today might as well be a Friday, and it's a Monday.
I'm glad you're going to be able to get through this week.
I can't hear you because there's no mic in front of you. So just keep sitting there.
So next season there's going to be a hunt. Me and Tim, Zach and Kyle.
No.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen, and then you're going to laugh for a month. It's going to be great.
No, we're gonna invite you guys out to hunt.
Because
with
we're
us.
stranded out in the water and we're laughing.
No,
the
you'll be in
entire
our
time?
boat.
No,
You'll
this
be
is our boat,
stranded.
on our rig.
Well, we'll invite both
Oh.
of you guys on our rig to hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll laugh about it for a
You
month.
may still get stranded because it happened twice to us this year already. So
Or I'll just have all four of us out on or five of us on a hunt, and we'll put Zach in a blind like 200 yards away.
oh no, you got to keep him
No,
close.
he's gotta be in the blind with you.
He's got to hear it.
He needs to hear everything that we're razzing him about. There's no doubt.
You're screwed.
Because he doesn't think about it, and sometimes he'll add to your joke without
He
even knowing
will
it.
without even knowing it.
With him hitting himself for it. Yeah. I could see that.
We like having him around though. He's a good guy. He's all right.
Yes, he does.
He's all right.
He helps out a
How much
lot.
do they pay you to say that?
Wait, you should pay me?
Oh, you don't pay them? Wow. Pays me.
For what?
You don't want to know.
He's holding that microphone. You can figure it out.
He's holding it. He's got a grip on that thing. Look at him go.
What,
Y'all watching that on that screen? Oh, it went out.
yeah,
up there?
it died.
It
My phone died.
Oh man, you guys are missing that.
I know. Anybody else got any advice for the youth?
Just get him into the woods. You don't even gotta take him
Gotta
out.
go.
Just get him in the woods. I got two boys, and my younger one's not an outdoors kid. He doesn't hunt. He doesn't really fish with us. But I'll tell you what, you get him out to one of these islands with nothing on it, and they take off exploring.
Right.
It just gets them out there. So that's all you gotta do is just get the kids to the woods, and they'll do the rest from there.
That's got to be one of the hardest things, though, even too, where, waking them up in the morning has got to be, obviously, you said, difficult, but not pushing them too far for them to get out of it, but then pushing them enough to stay in it to understand it.
Correct.
And that's why you also start with like evening hunts or going out for an afternoon hunt.
yeah.
That's a good
Don't wake
point.
them up for their first hunt 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "All right, kid, let's go," and dragging them along.
Right.
Take
Don't
out
get
for
them
that
drunk the
evening
night
hunt.
before.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, hop them up on sugar so they stay up all night. Maybe that might work.
That might.
You know, but
That might.
yeah, try to get them out for evening hunts or an afternoon hunt, just to get them used to it, get them hooked, and then that adrenaline goes and like, yeah, I want to get up in the morning. I want to go, and that's all it takes. Just get them out there the one time.
Do not feel guilty for tricking them into going. It's
Yeah, it's Christmas again. Don't worry about it. No, I heard one time there was a guy talking that he was competition caller, and he wanted to do it long enough to where, obviously, one, he wanted to win worlds, but two, he wanted to do it long enough to where him and his boy could do doubles together. Because and when he said that, I was like, man, I never even thought about that kind of perspective of it
Yeah.
all, and that even in itself is super cool. To be able to do a championship routine with your son or whatever. That would be pretty sweet to be able
It's
to do that.
something.
You're right.
because a lot of people got nothing. They lived through their whole life and nothing.
And I think that's what's so interesting about the waterfowl in itself. There's so many different aspects of it all, the history of it all. There's just so many different things that come about it all.
Yeah, I'm sure
the history of
I'm sure that
birds,
history
whatever.
is everywhere. But the whole you can talk about layout hunting. We touch on a little bit about that, but this area and layout hunting,
Oh, it's
it's like the mecca of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing the heritage of layout hunting here. It's just wasn't done anywhere else, and Heck, now they're doing it in Texas and the Gulf. You know,
Yeah, they are in
wild.
North Carolina.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm so glad that like Michigan's kind of overlooked for waterfowl hunting, and I've said it time and time again. Like I'm so glad that there's not like just a rush of
You
a
can say
giant
that till you're
crowd.
out there and there's a crowd.
Get a hold of me next year. That's all I gotta say. Just
There's-
get a hold of me next year.
There's
I'll
dudes
take you out whenever you
everywhere,
want.
man.
Get a hold of me next year. If you hear 10
That's your
gunshots.
private fields, though. That's it's a thing.
But I'm just saying though, like whenever you want though, any of you guys get a hold of me next
Yeah,
year.
we will. Definitely.
And
Do we have to bring Zach?
absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Just checking.
No comment.
Well, you don't have a mic, so either way, it
no
wasn't
fucking
covered.
matter.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a slow day, we'll call them up and say, "Hey, man, come join us. We're like killing birds like crazy," and just
That or
some
just tell them to bring a
entertainment.
pizza and then send them back home.
There you go.
I mean, whatever. Aren't you glad you came and set this up?
Oh, I'm thrilled.
We couldn't hear you. You don't have a mic. Tim, you got anything to say?
No, I think you guys hit it all.
No, we love it.
Any sponsors you guys want to hit or anywhere that people can find you or anything? Facebook.
You know, I
Instagram,
thought about
whatever?
putting a laundry list of people that sponsored the dinner, things that come
There's
up.
gotta be
but
so many of them.
There are.
we do pretty well, especially in the local area. These, like we said, Domka, it's a big
Yep.
one. Cabela's, they hook us up on the discounts.
Point World Muley Waterfowl Festival, the Dick Whitwan print. This is their 75th year, so we're going to have a commemorative 75th year print.
That's awesome.
We're going to silent auction this year.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, GK, right? GK
Yeah.
made
GK calls.
the Michigan calls.
University of Michigan.
Hooked
Those
us
are
up
sweet-
with-
sweet calls.
Man, I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
get mine
Have you
either.
seen it?
'Cause I ordered one. And
Not in person yet.
You haven't seen
No,
it yet?
not
I
in
seen
person.
like the blue and gold one he put on his website.
Yeah.
But it was like a girl's call.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Even for the
I ordered
75th
one.
call, those were sick calls too.
Oh,
It
yeah?
was like what, the cherry color, right?
yeah,
those
are-
cherry wood, yeah.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are super nice too.
Make some amazing stuff. So I'm really excited to see
Yeah.
that. So we're getting one of those for the dinner.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, big shout out to GK for sponsoring us and helping
Glenn,
out
right?
just
Glenn?
the community. Yeah, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't really
Yep.
know him that well, so I'd like to. Yeah,
Amazing
Sounds
guy.
great.
Amazing guy. He's supposed to be coming on, but like always, life, you know what I mean?
busy.
Kids
Yeah,
and
that's right.
everything. But can't thank him enough. Can't thank just the calls alone. I mean, he makes a great product, and Michigan made. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. Anybody else you guys got?
What's was that Dan's name who donated the prints last year?
Oh, Dan Stewart.
Dan Stewart.
He's an
So
old Michigan Duck Hunters Association
he was
guy.
the president of that. So Jamie ran into him at the fishing. Was it the fishing show last year in Novi?
Yep.
Saw his hoodie. Asked what we were about. The next
of
day,
nowhere.
I happened to be going up there, and he ended up, because he talked to Jamie, he said, "Hey, my buddy's coming up tomorrow." The guy brought a whole bunch of prints and donated them. So
Really?
Larry Hayden, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Sounds familiar.
So
Old school
during
stamp guy.
the federal duck stamp, when they had a competition, every time he entered it, he won. Every
Really?
time. So he gave us several of those. So we're going to have a golden eye print.
Wow.
Framed and matted from him this year. We have the 1991 Michigan duck stamp print with the stamp this year.
How many times do you guys just want to be like, we're not giving that?
We did. It's tempting.
Well, Dan said
But
that.
That's what
Dan
he promised. He said,
Yeah.
"You have to promise me," because I gave it to a club and every board member took them.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have been one of those.
So we're
poor
pretty
nuts.
good. We're pretty
It's
good
hard,
about getting
but
them out.
it's
Yeah.
tempting. But yeah, no, we got some great prints from him.
It goes
yeah.
back to finding the right guys for the right
Yeah.
crew, and
And his advice to us is don't get too big in the
He
club.
said that. Yeah, because
He said they got too big and you can't get anything done.
I mean, so I guess that was another question of mine too. Not to even go off topic here, but what's your guys' like end goal? Do you guys have end goals or like future goals or anything?
Keep the kids
Well,
involved.
pass it on eventually. We hope. Like I said, is we want to.
I mean, how big do you guys want it?
We don't want to get bigger. We just want to keep going.
because the youth hunt's 50. We kind of try to cap it around 50 kids.
Okay,
I mean, that's manageable.
Right,
Again, it's
right,
all
right.
about being manageable. It's like
Right.
your goose hunts.
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
15 guys. No.
yeah, that's
It's horrible,
But
dude,
you
trust
still
me.
you still figure out how to manage that, right?
Right,
So it's,
right.
it's horrible. It's a lot. You might like 6 be great, but
I pull my hair out like every morning. Trust me.
But
Hair grows fast.
so we limit it, try to limit it to 15 or 50 kids. If it ends up 52, 55, whatever, you always get some no-shows.
Right.
So we end up at 35 or 40. Try to give them a good experience, but that's it. Just keep it to a manageable
That's the biggest thing.
Right. And, and we're always looking for projects, things to,
Right.
that, we talked about maybe rollers over the dikes into the
Right.
managed area. I mean, there's things that, they may need work that we can help with.
There's so many different things around this
I
area.
mean, we don't want to open up Pandora's box, but especially on a podcast like this, but there's
Well, yeah,
always...
because then Zach will have earrings in his ears next to
Oh, God, yeah. He'll have 5 kids. Next thing you know, he's going to have 5 kids when we donate to every one of their events,
Exactly.
right? So,
That's
but,
the plan.
we do this to, to help youth organizations that are to deal with the outdoors, right? The fishing group here, or, Gibraltar fishing, the club there,
Right.
Things like that.
Got the
The
trap
Ida
teams.
trap guys,
The Dundee trap guys, we donate to them.
the HRC guys, they come to us this year, donate to them. So it's kind of what we do. It's our thing.
That's awesome.
And we're in a great position to be able to help,
Yeah.
a lot of other organizations.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. And like I said, I can't thank you guys enough for what you guys do for around here, because of a lot of it goes unnoticed. And I know that just from knowing you guys, and I wish more people understood that. Like I said, whether it be helping out with the island cleanouts or the docks or whatever it may be, the kids just in general. I mean, it goes such a long way that people just really need to look at that and be appreciative over it all.
It's nice to be known, but it's good to be under the wire too, right?
Yeah.
That's a very good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, for me, like we brought up the GK, Migra Ammunition. I don't know if you guys have heard about those guys at all. We shoot Migra, absolutely stones birds, killer of a shell. We just got with those guys, I think, a year or two ago, and I can't speak more highly than any other shell out there on the market.
I'll have to look into their 10 gauge stuff for the Saskatchewan
It's
trip here.
Insane.
Yes.
The
I
Migra
need a
is
case for that.
Steel, bismuth,
nuts.
what?
They have it all. They're
Really?
coming out with a turkey load, and as we're speaking right now, it'll be dropping the day that this podcast drops.
Okay.
So it hasn't even dropped yet.
Well, I'll need to look it up. Yeah, I noticed your
Turkey
hat. I
load?
just wanted to
Yeah, the turkey loads.
take a look at it.
So
What is
they're
that? Yeah.
Migra ammunition.
yeah, the old Migra.
The flat
But no,
bird, man.
it's just it's same thing with every group of guys that we work with as a company. Like we stand behind people that we, they're just amazing people in general. You know what I mean? We're not standing behind a company that, they're doing this for us, so I guess we'll just throw their name out there.
Right,
or whatever.
right.
We're standing behind them because we have faith in them, and they treat us well. And it's just same with Gator decoys. Gator decoys, they have like the extended poles. I don't know if you guys,
Rick stick.
yeah.
Kind of like it. Yeah.
So yeah, they unscrew.
It's
Yeah,
their own gig. Yeah, it's good.
yeah. So, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming in today.
Well, thanks.
About
Appreciate it.
time you guys came in.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. No, I'm just joking.
We'll get
But-
crazy on you next season because we're duck hunters, so we're gonna chill. We're gonna do our dinner, and then we're gonna kick
start
back and
Persian
chill.
walleye fishing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll even do another podcast, even like maybe halfway through the summer or whatever it may
Talk about
be.
some fishing.
Yeah.
and- absolutely.
Even more future plans, whatever it may be. Like I said, can't thank you guys enough for coming in tonight.
Yeah,
Spending
thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
all the amount of time that you guys did. So thank you guys for listening. Until next time, we'll see you.